I think this is one of the most aptly named episodes that you have come up with, because fuck me, man.
I know, 3 days. We went from, well, since we started doing every week, we went from the longest stint we had taken to now the shortest we've ever taken.
It's 3 days, man. So, this is way too soon to be doing this shit again.
Yeah. But, I'm going on vacation this weekend, and Friday night just didn't work as well for either of us.
Right. But I'm not happy to see you. Not at all.
I bet you're happy to get out of the house, though.
Yeah. What are we drinking?
So we're going back, because it's really soon. We're going back to Slane whiskey. I think we drank this with Jay Nielsen, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit left in the bottle.
And since we're basically half-assing the episode, why not half-ass our drink for tonight?
That's right. Cheers. That may be the best sip of whiskey I've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's good. And not because the whiskey's particularly amazing, just because I needed a drink tonight.
It's not a bad whiskey for whatever, $20 a bottle or something.
But I needed a drink tonight, and so I taken that little sip. It immediately made you more tolerable for tonight.
I need a little bump of Escobar.
Let me also say this. It made me immediately more tolerable to myself as well. Tolerable.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well.
So how you been for the last goddamn 3 days?
I don't want to be at work so much this week because it's a short week for one. There's less of us in the office, so when I am in the office, I have no one to talk to basically in there to cut up with, to waste time with. And I'm going on vacation Saturday.
Right.
And so I'm making 1 or 2 hours worth of work last all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't want to be there. Every morning I get there and I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah.
I would almost eat a bullet if God would let my ghost go on vacation. I went.
And no heaven for you if you.
That's true. I went to
the only person's life you'd be approving was mine.
No, my family would get some life insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Get the debts paid off.
Yeah. Well, does it cover suicide? Because most life insurances do not.
You're right. I'm not sure if it does or not. So
I can make it.
I can still eat a bullet, but it just wouldn't be by my hand.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I dropped the rifle.
I was cleaning it. God damn.
Oh, you and Kurt Cobain, the only two people that can accidentally shoot yourself in the head.
Right. It's like it was an accident 7 times. 7 times. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Oh, God.
First, I want to address something real quick.
Go ahead.
At the very end of last episode, before we signed off, right as we signed off, a comment pops up from Shane. Shane. Yeah. I don't give a fuck at this point. He's dead to me.
Yeah.
But he pops up as is it what? Steven looks thick.
Is it damn Steven looking thick with 3 C's?
Yeah, 3 C's. So fuck you, Shay.
Oh yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like, had it been earlier in the episode, there could have been some banter with it. It could have been funny, but that was like he got the last word in on my goddamn podcast and called me a fat piece of shit. So fuck him, man.
I know. It's like he typed it up early in the episode and just waited. And then right before just hit enter and they're done.
Yeah. I know you appreciate it.
Oh, it was funny. It was very funny.
Because I am looking thick right now. But weirdly enough, so I got back into the gym yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I've been procrastinating it for a while, using the excuse of my boss is coming into town, which only works for a couple of weeks before. Sure. But you know how it is. Like I was doing good for 2 or 3 months, and then after that habit's broken. Like, and I hate going to the gym so much. So, and I realized my biggest weakness is even going to the gym a lot is I fucking love sodas. I fucking love them. I've cut back on the chocolate milk, but cereal at night. It gets me, but I'm not eating like a fucking box of Fruity Pebbles, but I still like a bowl of cereal. So the dairy and then the coffee in the morning. So I was like, well, fuck. And I'm not going to.
What do you put in your coffee?
What's that?
How do you take your coffee?
Half and half. I put half and half in the coffee with just like 1 little teaspoon of sugar is all I put in it. So it's not much, but a lot of dairy is, I mean, if for fat content wise.
Especially when it comes to like milk because the lactose in it. Cheese is not as bad, but milk for sure.
Yeah, but milk, especially half and half. I mean, it's got healthy fats in it, but all the lactose is just sugar, basically. So I was like, well, I can at least stop one of these things. And so I have switched during the week to drinking Coke Zero. I do not like it, but it's better than not having Coke at all.
So here's what I'll tell you.
Because the carbonated soda water, I can do with dinner or something, but I don't enjoy just drinking them.
Yeah, I get that. but the fake sugar that they put in Coke Zero is as bad for you as regular sugar.
But it doesn't affect weight loss. It might be bad for you. It doesn't affect weight loss.
I think if you dig deep enough into it, your liver doesn't view it any differently when it processes it. Yeah. I think.
Well,
because that's what gives you that insulin or ghrelin. Is it insulin and ghrelin?
And again,
insulin or
not
whatever.
either, but when I read into it, and they said a lot of people say it's not good for you, but studies have shown, this is what I've read, is that you can have up to either it's 2 or 3 per day without affecting weight loss.
Sure.
Like it doesn't help it by any stretch of the imagination.
If you're doing cardio and stuff, then yeah, you're still going to lose weight.
But compared to drinking the fucking shit tons of sugar and calories that are in, especially if you're looking at it from a caloric intake perspective.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't pay attention to that anymore.
Right. So you mentioned, compare the two. It's a much better alternative. I don't like the taste of it as much. Like it's not as bad as fucking Diet Coke. Fuck that shit. But it's tolerable, and especially with dinner, it's better than nothing. But I've been drinking those, and now having a real Coke here, it makes me realize why I miss them so much. But sodas is my big thing, man. And like I said, I've given up the chocolate milk. I haven't had chocolate milk now in like 6 fucking months.
Really? Yeah. It's been that long?
I've given up the chocolate milk.
But you're still doing the bowl of cereal.
Not every night, but much more than I do. And I do put a fucking good hunk of sugar on my cereal because it's
you put sugar on Fruity Pebbles?
Not on Fruity Pebbles.
No, I just don't imagine you only eat Fruity Pebbles.
No, I mean I should. But no, Fruity Pebbles, or like if I get like Rice Chex or Rice Krispies and shit, I put sugar on those, and way more sugar than it
So I tell you,
because I got to get to the same level of sweetness as Fruity Pebbles.
If I eat something like Rice Chex or something that's not sweetened, I find that brown sugar is better on it than white sugar because it tends to melt into the milk. Yeah. And you don't, because like white sugar, the milk's cold, so it doesn't really dissolve much. And so you got to scrape the bottom of the bowl to get that sugar.
Which is one of my favorite parts about eating
I don't like that because then it's just like it's like eating sweet sand. Yeah. It's like I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I do. And I agree. There's many different ways to enjoy the sweetness. The bottom line is I need to cut out way fucking more sugar than I do. But I haven't had a bowl of cereal before bed in like a week now. So, that's a
and you eat it right before bed too.
Yeah, that's worse. And exactly. That's my go-to. Like
go to bed.
Yeah.
Like fat while you sleep.
With fucking milk and sugar, man. It just stays in my stomach. But the whole point is
I'm sure it makes your morning shits worse too, doesn't it?
The morning shits, I always have terrible shits. It doesn't matter morning, night, lunch, constantly. I will say though, the time that we did that I lost our weight loss challenge, was the best shits I'd taken in years.
My wife brought that up again the other day. Yeah, I said something to her about that. We were talking about what works better, Wednesday night or Friday night this week, and we decided, and actually worked well because it worked better for you to do Wednesday night. And then I said, last year when we came back from vacation, we recorded the Saturday night when we got back, but I don't, that was hectic. Yeah. So what do you think about Sunday? She was like, I don't care either way. I don't care. And so, and then I said, and on Father's Day, we're going to be recording early in the morning because we're covering 4 countries and 3 continents.
Fuck yes.
In the morning. And she said, really? I said, yeah, I may just put you up in a hotel the Saturday night before. That way we don't wake you up in the morning. She said, yeah, because I don't need Steven's bitch ass losing some other bet and waking me up again.
Yeah.
So,
well, Krista can eat a dick. So I give no fucks.
Yeah. So, I don't know how many people, on a Wednesday night, have people watching this.
By the way, now,
interesting. Who's watching? Please comment and let us know who's watching.
Since Shay made that comment, now I find myself glancing at the camera being like, you are a fat piece of shit.
Yeah, we look like a thick snack.
Look like a snick sack. Oh my God. But yeah, now I'm looking here because I see how I sit, my posture, and it's like, I'm a dumpy motherfucker.
Here's another thing is I always wear dark things on camera.
But you also tend to sit up and forward when you talk.
A little bit.
Like I lean back and just let it.
I will slide my chair back like this, or I'll sit
so
up
it covers it well, blends. Yeah. But for me, like I lean back so you can see a little bit of my titties.
You see that,
in the roll here. So
I wear shirts that are one size too big on camera and dark colors.
Yeah. See, I'm just glad I still have someone in my life that will fuck me regularly and still at least tells me I'm attractive.
I know. I remember those days.
Right.
No, seriously, who is that? Gemma? Hey, Gemma, hadn't seen you or at least heard from you in a while. So
what's up?
So glad that you're joining us tonight.
I am indifferent to you joining us, but we're glad you're here.
So this is an odd night for us, Gemma, if you're watching. So if you got something you want to talk about or bring up with us, call the number on the screen and we'll answer and we'll talk. But
or mock you when we hang up.
Well, one way or the other.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure when you call, you say, "Damn, Steven, you looking thick."
Fuck you. It's true though.
So this morning I had to I've
been waiting on this story.
I took my dogs.
By the way, it really, I love it, but it's terrible the fact that we hang out a little before to talk about the show, and we'll just be having our normal conversation. Like, nope, I can't tell you that.
You know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna save that.
I'm gonna say that for the show. Yeah,
I know.
Because it's just us again, and like God knows we're gonna be stretching for fucking time here to talk about.
I listen to a podcast, and it's all guys that work together on a podcast network. They all produce other shows,
right?
But they do their own podcast called The Water Cooler, and I've heard them say the same things before about. I was going to say your hair is different. Who's that? Steven's hair?
I guess I don't know.
They talk about that. Like, there's a lot of
your chest hair has grown 20 pounds. What's going on?
That's right. I haven't shaved my stomach in a while. It really shows.
Right.
So, but that's one thing they said. They a lot of times when they come into work, or somebody else say, "Well, what'd you do this week?" It's like, just gotta save it for the pod.
Yeah.
They don't tell anybody anything. So anyway,
yeah. Continue.
So I got up this morning early because it's 30 minutes the wrong direction toward work for me to take the dogs to this lady's house. And so I had to have them there by 6:30 in order to get to work by 7:30 because it's another almost hour the other way. And, Nala, she loves you, but she's a nervous, like scaredy cat, massive 110, 120 pound dog, but she's scared of everything. And so
in all fairness, she hated me like the first 2 months because I scared the fuck out of her.
That's true. That's true. But she doesn't like riding as much because it's a big dog cooped up in the car or whatever. And so she pants the whole time or whatever. So I had she and Max in there, and I get to the woman's house and I get Max out first and I carry him up. And the lady takes it, and I come back to the car, and I've got the window down so the Nala can see out.
Tell me she nervous shat in your car.
She did nervous shit in my car. Now, I will say this. She's come a long way because it was solid.
Okay.
Because her nervous shits used to be nothing but just liquid spray. And I mean everywhere.
Spray. Right.
And it was solid. And like, as I pulled her out, I was like, the fuck is that?
Oh,
God damn it, Nala. That's what I said. God damn it, Nala. And she was standing there looking at me like, I know, but you left me in here. And so I got her out, and I pull out of this woman's driveway. I go down here, and she lives in a nice neighborhood. Yeah. And I get down to the bottom of the hill in her neighborhood at the stop sign, and I get out and I get napkins out, and I'm just taking dog shit and throwing it out in the middle of the street.
Nice. As you should. As you should.
Yeah. And when I went back to pick him up this evening, I looked to see if it was still sitting there. It was flat, but it was there.
It was there.
So it was still there.
You left your mark.
I did.
On the nice.
I did. So
there's nice areas going outside of the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't aware.
You got to get on out there. This is past Halls. So,
oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, this is way out there. Yeah,
because Fountain City's.
I came through Fountain City this morning, coming back in.
But, there's pockets there, and it's being gentrified, but still, it's, not.
It's interesting. It didn't carry me through Fountain City to go out there, but coming back to go to work, and I still took 40 to get to work. It carried me in through Fountain City. I don't know why. Maybe traffic. I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
The gods of traffic.
I guess so. So we were together on Sunday recording, and then Monday I went over to my sister's house for, Memorial Day.
Okay.
And hung out over there. I'm just going over what I've done this week.
Did you honor them? Did you honor the memories of the fallen?
Yeah, I don't know them by name, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm glad you honored them.
Yeah, we had a moment of silence.
Okay.
But I took a knee when we did the national anthem. But we still had a moment of silence. But I took a knee.
That's good. That's good.
So,
do you have I've been to a couple in my life that people actually will take a moment of silence, and so I'm pretty sure you're being jokingly sarcastic, but you guys actually take. No, I didn't think so.
No, the only remotely close thing we do to something like that is when we all get together, Christmas or whatever. We don't do it on vacation, but Christmas they will do the blessing before the meal.
Yeah.
But that's still only my dad, stepmom, and their kids and grandkids.
See, I still get it.
They still ask you to do it
every time, and my dad will always do the, "Hey, Pastor Stephen, you want to say grace?" And this year I went, "Nope."
Yeah,
and everybody got really quiet and it got really uncomfortable, and my sister was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah,
but I just
women aren't supposed to pray,
right? I didn't even reply with anything else, but nah. So
my dad quit asking me when I told him I believe it's disrespectful to ask God to bless the food.
Yeah.
Out loud in front of everyone. He said, "How's that?" And I said, "Because you're fixing to eat stuff that's not good for you.
Yeah.
And your body's a temple."
Yeah.
So they don't ask.
Well,
me.
I don't now because I worship Satan, and
or at least your listeners do.
Yeah, no. The people are also devil worshippers. We're demonic.
Sure.
And the only people that listen to this podcast are devil worshippers.
I see.
Yeah.
And that's what your grandmother said, right?
And I mean, she always knew you were a piece of shit, but now she knows that I'm much more of a piece of shit.
Wonder why she thought I wasn't that great.
I know exactly why, or at least, well, there's several things throughout the year, or throughout our lives.
Sure.
And she's never been a fan of your or I sense of humor.
Okay. Sure.
And
but I feel like I've always been respectful to her and around her.
What it is the time that you came to when we were having the baby shower for Lyric, and you and Krista came over, and
of course,
and my grandmother had like all the normal spring things like fruit and like finger foods and all that stuff, and there was watermelon sitting there.
I remember this now.
And in front of my grandmother, we walked in, like, "Hey, honey," she knew you were coming and pointed out there.
Yeah,
and my grandmother found that to be very inappropriate.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I figured that would be right up her alley.
No, well, that grandmother is not the racist.
She's not?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
No. I mean, like any true
She's
Southern
prejudice, not racist.
No, every other true Southern matriarch, she doesn't like Mexicans, but no issues with African Americans.
Okay.
I mean, not overtly.
We see eye to eye on something.
but that was her thing. You made the watermelon joke in front of everybody and in front of her, and it made her very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she thought you were a piece of shit from that point forward.
Yeah. So I just had this thought because I saw it say
and you had
lip piercings.
Lip piercings.
Yeah. And earrings. What was I going to say? Oh, I noticed that somebody else had popped on for a moment there, and I was thinking about because one of my semi neighbors lives in the neighborhood that I work with. Occasionally pops on and watches while he's doing whatever around the house. And he's on vacation this week with his entire family. But when I say his entire family, I mean there's like 80 or so of them because his parents have like 10 siblings and all of their kids kids. And they I think he said they rent 3 or 4 houses next to each other on Myrtle Beach.
Jesus Christ. That is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard.
And they drink all day long. And each night a different house is responsible for cooking.
That's
whatever.
Fucking awful.
And I just imagine that he tuned in because he's like, oh, that's while we're hanging out here drinking and eating. Let's see. And I just imagine him putting us on TV in front of his entire family.
That would be wonderful.
While we say we don't like Mexicans and things like that.
Why you say?
No, I'm just saying. It's your family. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Anyway.
No, I find it. I don't
hate Mexicans.
No, I know.
Fucking love a burrito.
Right.
I meant the food.
Yeah, the food. But so I get your vacation thing a little bit. Like the time with the family is awful, but to have a free vacation where you don't have to pay for shit, I get that a little bit.
But I enjoy being around my siblings.
I get that, but I'm just saying
my siblings don't try to lead me to the Lord.
Right. That's true.
So
that's true. Well, you don't have any siblings that are currently hyper into the church game. So that's the difference. But I feel like, I guess, like I said, I can justify or understand your desire a little more, even if you didn't like the family because you're getting a free vacation. Sure. But there's nothing free about 80 people all together that are your family.
That's another thing. Like he gets along with almost everyone in his family. Like it's just.
See, but people say that, but I feel like that when they first come back, they're like, fuck, I'm glad to be home. That was Uncle so-and-so was just, I was want to punch him in the fucking
I'm sure
dick
you do. I'm
this
sure people do get, I mean, people that I'm going to go on vacation with next week are going to annoy me at some point or other during the week.
Right.
It's just human nature. But I mean, the people I live with annoy me at some point during the week.
Okay.
So,
that's
I mean,
fair,
that's the thing. I mean, it's.
Yeah, but you have to deal with the annoyance of the people that live with you. You don't have to.
You could just get divorced.
You could, but then you still have your kids that are going to annoy the shit out of you. You know,
sure, but they don't have to live with you anymore.
That's true.
They don't have to live with me anymore.
That's true.
Anyway, so
fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know. Whatever.
That's just not.
My daughter said she was going to mediate any argument that my wife and I have on the way to.
Oh, nice.
To Florida.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's why. we will always get in at least a disagreement because she thinks I drive too fast, and if I get behind someone, if I'm trying to pass cars and I get behind someone that's in the left lane on the interstate, and they are doing under 80, but definitely if it's 75 or below, and there's no one that they're passing, they're just cruising in the left lane, I'll flash my lights at them.
Yeah, of course.
Now, if the right lane's open,
if somebody, because they may not see you. So just no. What I'm saying is that's what the purpose of the light flash for is, to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
You don't see me back here.
Instead of me honking their horn and riding their ass.
Here, motherfucker, somebody's behind you, get the fuck out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, before I do that, I'll just pass them on the right and just get it over with if no one's there. But, my wife will tell me, you're not supposed to pass on the right. You're right, but they're not supposed to ride in the left lane either.
Right.
I don't ride in the left lane unless I'm passing someone.
As it should be.
Yes. You get in the left lane, you go around, and unless there's another car coming that you're going to, I'm not going to get over the lane and in 10 seconds get back over in the left lane. Yeah. I'll just cruise on by the line.
But I'll also cruise in the left lane if there's a line of cars all running the same speed that's faster than the cars on the right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll do that. If we're passing the cars on the right,
I'll
ride the left lane all
wide
day.
Open, right lane.
If it's wide open, it's in the right lane.
Yeah. So technically, people will say the right lane's the slow lane. The right lane is the driving lane.
Yes.
The left lane is the passing lane. That's the purpose of the two lanes.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I noticed in Germany is if you hung out in the left lane, because they drive on the same side of the road as us in Germany, if you hang out in that lane, what they consider too long, they're going to let you know it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough.
Well, it's because people are fucking flying.
They are flying.
And that's what causes.
I was doing nearly 150 and pulled out to pass somebody, not kilometers, miles an hour, and pulled out to pass somebody. And this M5 just was on my ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, where did this come from?
But again, in those instances, and it's really the same, even statistically, in the States, that slow drivers cause more accidents as a whole than people that are speeding. Let me rephrase that. People that are driving too slow tend to cause more accidents than people that are driving too fast.
That's why there's a minimum speed limit on the interstate. Because if you go, to me, I think 40 is way too slow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But you're definitely going to cause a pileup if you're going under 40.
Yeah. Especially like the thing that kills me is when people pull out and don't speed up when they're fucking merging on. Yeah, like the only time you should ever hit your brakes on a merge is if it's a line of fucking traffic and you have to get over. That's it. Otherwise, it's you fucking gas and go. The other thing is when people assume that it's your job to allow them to merge, as opposed to it's their job to fucking find a spot to merge.
That's it right there.
And there's courtesy for sure. Like if traffic's backed up and somebody's trying to merge, if they have a blinker on, I will allow them over. If they do not have a blinker on, fuck their fucking assholes. They can run into the goddamn ditch.
I don't, the blinker thing doesn't bother me because that lane is for getting over into the next lane. So to me, it's like if I get into the left turn lane and don't use my blinker, who cares? I'm in the lane. I have to turn in. Yeah. So, whatever. But if you come over in the left lane and I'm driving and I'm coming up and you don't have a blinker and just come the fuck over, I'm going to be fucking pissed. If they're merging, I will be pissed if they're cutting me off merging. Right. But if traffic is going slow and there's a gap, I'll let somebody get in.
Yeah.
But I'm also someone that will pass a long line of traffic on an exit and then cut in front of an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to wait in the long line of traffic.
So you're that asshole.
What asshole? If there's a gap, I take it.
No.
That's what I said.
You said that you will blast something for everybody so you don't have to wait in line and get over.
But I don't get over if there's no gap.
Well, by the time you get up there, how do you realize there's no gap?
What do you mean, how do I realize? As I'm going down the line, I'm looking for gaps.
Gotcha.
Ahead. I'm looking at I'm
looking at 18
wheelers.
I see that is right. Okay. But the reason I say that is half of the time that gap, the trucks have to leave for braking distance.
Sure.
And so when you cut into that, half the time they're hitting brakes and it's fucking backing more shit up
traffic
behind
is
you.
Backed up and that big gap there, they're rolling along at 10 miles an hour. They don't need a 10 car length braking distance.
It's not a 10 car length braking distance.
Yeah. Okay. If I'm going that fast, I'm going to need that much time to get in and slow down. But no, what I do is I will cruise past everybody. I'll look at 18-wheelers. And if I see a gap, I'll slow down and get in there. And I don't get in front of them until I can see them in my mirror.
That's coming off an on-ramp. Do you do that shit if like right lane closed and then left lane starting to back up and you do fly down in the last minute fucking cut over?
Sometimes.
Okay, that's a dick move.
Why? If there's a gap, take it.
It's not a gap. It's about
It is a gap.
No, because that consistently calls traffic to back further the fuck up. Either everybody
No, it doesn't. The line doesn't get any longer.
Oh,
it's one car going into the line.
But
whether I go in back here or going up here,
the speed of which the line will move. So there's two ways it should happen. Yes. Either everyone stays in the right lane and it's taking turns merging in, which is not what the fuck happens.
Sure.
Or when you see the right lane close, everybody gets in one lane then, and it fucking keeps moving. It never would have to stop.
Sure. But
when you have people that everybody else is getting over, they shoot up last minute and take half a car length gap because that's what's going to happen.
So what I will tell you is the majority of the time that I do that when the lane is being closed, it's because I was already in whatever lane is closing and there is nowhere for me to merge in. And so I just keep my speed and start to slow down and look for an opening.
Well, that's fair. What I'm talking about is intentionally speeding to the front of the line
done it.
And cutting it.
I know
you have.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
sure.
But I'm just saying,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's the type of shit that causes more traffic. It backs shit up.
It doesn't cause more traffic. It doesn't make.
It increases travel time for the people behind you.
Okay.
That's traffic.
All right. Travel time is not traffic.
Travel time caused by a backup of cars is traffic.
Hold on a minute. How much travel time does that increase for them?
Okay.
One car moving in like that.
Not that person, the people at the fucking back end of the line.
Okay.
Because traffic is like a ripple effect. You drop a pebble in and it backs the fuck up. So if you cause one 18-wheeler to slam on his brakes, that can cause.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that though.
If you're zooming up,
I wouldn't cause anyone to slam on their brakes. I'm not going to get in where somebody's going to slam on their brakes. I'm only getting in.
You just said, hold on. You've just said you rushed up to the front line, which means you've made yourself a gap at some point.
No.
So you just stop if there's no gap along the way.
Yes.
You'll just stop and wait for somebody to let you over.
I have absolutely got to where the lane ends and stopped and waited till somebody let me over.
Okay.
I've absolutely done that a lot of times. I don't like it, but I do it.
Well, that's different.
Well, you didn't ask.
I made but
you made the assumption.
Yeah, I made to make the assumption because most of the time, if you're rushing up at the front of the line, you're rushing up and you're cutting somebody the fuck off to get over.
Because I don't like being cut off.
Okay.
No. If I'm cruising up through there and the line starts to move and your ass doesn't move, I'm going to get in front of you, but I'm not going to do it where you have to slam your brakes on.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like that.
One other instance that I'll ask you about because I'm just curious now because we're on the same page then. You're a little more aggressive with it than I am.
Absolutely.
But
offensive driving.
But I'm good with what you're saying makes sense because you're not intentionally like just.
I agree. Let me pass you. Use your turn signals and merge correctly.
Right. So here's question 2 then. Okay. So going up through Asheville, 26 splits off. That always backs way the fuck up. There's 3 lanes beside it. People will fly up in the middle lane and then stop and back up traffic behind them on a through lane to get the fuck over.
No, fuck those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
What if they're just trying to get up to the front?
Oh, I mean, you don't back everyone else that's in the same lane that you're in unless your lane ends.
Okay, but
go ahead.
They're going up looking for a gap. They never find a gap, so they have to get over.
If I never find the gap, then I just miss my exit and I go to the next one.
Okay, good. I
am fair.
Okay,
I am fair.
Yeah. Well, will you slow down to minimum speed in that lane and back people up behind you to look for that gap?
I'm not going to back up a lot of
the speed limit's 60 through there. Do you slow down to 30?
So is that the far left lane?
It's the far right lane. It merges off to the right. So you have 3 lanes of through traffic beside that right lane that's merging off. So you'll get people that'll fly up in that lane next to it, and then they can't get over. So they slow down to 20, 30 miles an hour to try to find a gap over while people here are backed up and people here are cutting off, and it creates a whole backflow.
Oh, no. If I had to take that exit or whatever, I would go into the split of the 2 and wait until there was an opening. I wouldn't back up the traffic behind me. Or I would just continue to go and have to loop back around.
Okay. I do that.
Yeah. I don't like when people do that.
So what I'm gathering is you're a more aggressive driver than me, but we believe in the same rules of the road.
For the most part, yeah. I'm not going to say that I've not been in a rush and done some of those asshole moves, but
we all have.
Yeah.
I'm just telling there's consistent assholery.
Now my wife will tell you that I'm a straight up asshole driver.
Thanks.
We'll just miss the exit and go. Yes. I will do that.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Well, that's what I've told Eli that before. Like if you have to make a left turn and the turning lane's backed up and you realize you didn't get over in time, don't stop and get over go to the next goddamn red light and loop around.
Yeah. I mean, if traffic is moving, then move with traffic. But if there's no one behind you or if the light is red up there, slow down and put your blinker on. Maybe some good Samaritan will let you over.
Right.
And if they do, fine. If they don't,
well, this was an instance where the light's green, right?
Sure.
And by the time he gets up on it, he doesn't realize that there's a longer line in the turning lane for people to go left. Instead of trying to cut over, slow people down behind you or not pay attention, go to the next fucking light and turn left. It's not a big deal to miss your turn.
I can't stand if I get out into an intersection to make a left turn or even to go straight and then all of a sudden everybody slams on and stop, and then I'm in the middle of the intersection when the light turns.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the most embarrassing things.
Why?
Because I'm blocking those people now when the light turns if they can't come through the intersection.
I got you.
It happened to me, I don't know, Sunday or Monday.
Embarrassing is the wrong word. All I do, like the easy way to that is just don't go through the intersection until you have a car to go.
So this is what happened the other day is we were all cruising along just fine. Traffic was going. Where we were turning left, some asshole was in the left turn lane and decided to try to make his turn and then couldn't because there's 2 lanes and he couldn't make one. Right. And now all of a sudden, all of us that had plenty of room to go had to slam on our brakes. And I was in the middle of the intersection, and all of a sudden the light turns green, and they're all looking at me like, "You're the asshole blocking the intersection." I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. Like I don't get the embarrassing, but I understand being like fuck, my bad. It's not embarrassing the same thing where like in school where you turn red or whatever. It's embarrassing. It's just like I fucking hate when people do this, and I will damn near have a heart attack if someone does that shit to me.
Right.
But so I hate being that guy. Now, if you ask my wife about driving, she will tell you that I am an asshole driver.
Yeah.
Because I drive fast and I flash my lights at people. Right. I will pass people, get over, and in fact come up and I'll whip out and pass people again. I mean, I set my cruise control on 85.
But see, I feel like what makes an asshole driver, right, is not necessarily somebody that drives aggressively. An asshole driver is someone that will, like, one of my things that pisses me off more than anything are the fucking speed up, slow down people. They'll be running fucking 85 and they'll pass you. Fine. Or 90. And then they get over and they slow down to fucking, 80. Yeah. And then you're running 85. So you pass them, and then they're up on your ass. You get over, they pass you, and then dude, I want to murder. It pisses me off so bad.
Yeah, it does me too.
I'm fine, drive as fast as you fucking want. Get up on my ass. If I'm holding you up, I'll get the fuck over. But god damn it, don't pass me and then be a dick and slow down. And then I pass you, and then I hate that game. Like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Like, either set your cruise control or fucking put your phone down. Because that's usually the reasons behind it. They're in a conversation and they're back and forth on speed. I don't fucking.
The first traffic ticket I ever got, I was driving I was dating my wife at the time, and we're headed to Huntsville for church, but I was driving my mom's 85 Cavalier, just a beat to shit, ugly ass car. And it was me, my youngest sister, Mary, and then my 2 stepsisters in the car. We were following our parents. And so, you're going from Pulaski to Huntsville, before you get to Elkton, that last long straight stretch.
This is a very relatable episode.
It's very relatable for the two. For me and you, it's very relatable. Yeah. But there's that long stretch. It goes up the hill and it immediately turns to 45 as you go up and around.
Because it's full on dickery on the police department.
It's inside. It's insane because they sit at the bottom of that hill and wait for people flying down it to get them. Yeah. Anyway, I pull out to pass one car. The car in front of them slows down. So now I have to pass both or slow back down and get in. And I'm 16 years old and I continue to go around it. A state trooper is sitting in a driveway backing out because he was turning around. He had been going that way. He put in the driveway. He's going to turn around. He evidently is not looking, or if he wasn't looking, then he's freaking homicidal. Yeah. He backs out and comes toward me in that lane while I'm passing.
Oh, Jesus.
And he had to swerve off the road. I had to gun it even more. And it's all that Cavalier wanted to get back over. He whipped around, blue lights, pulls me over, writes me a ticket for improper passing because he and I almost hit head on. And that's what he told the judge in court when I had to go to traffic court that morning. No.
Really?
No. They did not throw it out. They made me go to driving school or something like that. So I had to pay for driving school or whatever. But that's what he said. His literal words were, because he saw all my blonde headed sisters in the car with me. Right. He was like, I just couldn't help but think of what would happen if we'd hit and all that pretty blonde hair just laid all over the road. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's hilarious.
Oh my God. So anyway.
I had a trooper pull me over around there one time just because I was wearing a gray jacket and there's a gray seatbelt. He pulled me over and was like, "You're not wearing your seatbelt." I was like, "What do you mean I'm not wearing my seatbelt?" I was like, "I'm wearing my seatbelt now." He was like, "Yeah, you probably just buckled it in." I said, "Did you see my hands move off my steering wheel?" He was like, "No." I was like, "It's been buckled." And he grabbed it. I guess he thought maybe I just had it tucked behind me for some reason. And he yanked the fuck out of it, up against my neck. And he was like, "Yeah, I guess it's fine. Go ahead." And I was like, "The fuck just happened?" I'm still really confused about that. But Yeah, man. Fucking.
Yeah,
But this made me think about the merging thing. Just popped my. The reason I have the no tolerance for fucking merging without a blinker was living in Baltimore on 495. Because you'll have a line of cars, and you never know who's going to come over, who's going to go to the next stop, and a lot of times the lane will merge way the fuck up, or it'll turn into another exit. And so you'll have assholes that you think are going to go straight, but they just and all they're going to do is they're going to come down and just push straight the fuck over, and you don't know which direction they're going to go. So yeah, no blinker. I used to have that big ass. Remember that big ass fucking Chevy Silverado truck that I had?
Yes, I do remember that.
It was, old as shit. Sure. I didn't care if it got hit. I ran more than one motherfucker into the grass because I didn't have a blinker on. Because fuck them. Like I'm bigger than you. Use a blinker, and I would let you in every goddamn time. Sure.
I am.
It's not your right to just get in front of me.
That's true. I am a lot of times, especially in a city. I'm pretty generous driver. Like I'll let people pull out of parking lots or merge over in front of me, or change lanes in front of me or whatever.
One thing though, I cannot abide, pisses me off so much, is people out of courtesy going blatantly against traffic etiquette or rules. Like if I need to make a left turn and I'm at a stop sign and there's no stop, it's a two-way stop, right? Through street. This person's making a left turn. I'm making a left turn as well. They'll sit there and hold up traffic behind them to wave me through. It's like, no, fuck you. Make your turn. I'll go when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Or four-way stops when everybody's around and everybody's waving each other on. I'm like, no, we stopped at the same time. You're on my right. You fucking go first. Like, I cannot stand.
So you're saying you guys pulled up like this or like this?
Okay, so through a road right here. Yeah. So I'm going. So this person's going here. I'm at the stop sign here, waiting to turn left. They're going to turn left into here.
Gotcha.
They don't have to stop other than the way
traffic. I
see
what you're saying. Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but fuck you.
So I'm gonna tell you what works. At least it has worked 100% of the time for me.
Right.
Especially when something like that happens and somebody's trying to be generous. Because I used to do I wouldn't hold traffic up, but if I got somewhere at the same time, most people don't. I don't know if they don't know that the person on the right goes or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I learned it and whatever. Yeah. It's the same thing as if a traffic light goes out and it's red on all sides. It's a four-way stop.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out. But anyway, I've done the whole thing where you're just like, come on. And then they do the same. No, you go. And then no, you go. No, you go. If you tell me once, I'm going.
Yeah.
But I've done this thing. I never wave anybody through. No. I give a straight finger and I go, you there. Right. And then they go. Because it's like you're not offering it. It's like you're telling them and they just go.
Well, one thing I try not to do, unless it's a four-way stop and I'm like the only person there, and I don't remember where the fuck I read this or saw this, but if you wave somebody through and they get fucking hit by somebody, part of the fault, if it can be proven, is on you because you basically told them it was clear.
Good Samaritan law didn't cover you on that?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Because you're not helping someone, like you're just waving them through like you're directing traffic. And so, and I honest to God, like that might not be a thing. It's in my brain as something I read or learned at one point in time.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I may have just heard that from you. I don't know.
But more of, not like if you're taking turns at a four-way stop, but like in that instance when that person is was supposed to go straight through and they wave me on, and then I don't see somebody that passed them and they fucking T-bone me, the person that waved me can be liable.
Yeah.
But that's what I've heard. Again, I don't know. It might be one of those just things that are in there that are, fake news.
You know what really fucks people up is when you get out here on like Kingston Pike and a traffic light goes out. This conversation is cracking me.
Well, there's an issue that is not 100%.
95% of what you're saying.
That means she's 5% wrong.
I know.
Or I don't know who's Gemma is.
No, just Gemma. We picked her up from Two Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gemma. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
She sells and I'm gonna call out I'm going to call out the wrong brand, and if you correct me on here, I'll call out the correct brand. I think she sells Pure Romance love novelties and toys.
Okay.
As well. Pure Romance may not be the brand, but we'll find out in a moment.
That was going to be our sub company.
Yeah.
Pure Romance.
Gemma, $5 a month we'll advertise for you. we'll put a little video commercial on the live stream. We'll put an audio commercial on the podcast.
15 we'll put a 15-second video demonstrating in the middle of each episode.
That's true. Yeah. You need us to show up to parties like events to talk about it, we'll go for it. What is that? Dancing? That's correct. Yeah. So Pure Romance. See, I know our listeners.
A little bit of live prostate milking.
That's right. Yeah, and this toy curves just right. Get up in there.
This one you turn.
This one's got a pull start.
Right. I molded this one after my actual fist.
Oh my God.
See, okay. Speaking of like fisting assholes,
Okay.
this is one thing that I don't quite comprehend. Is like I get how your butthole could stretch that far eventually because its skin is pliable.
It shouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, but I get it. But like I feel like that my ass bone, like my bones and shit, are pretty narrow, and I feel like there'd have to be some bone separation for a full fist.
I think that the rectum and everything has got a lot more elasticity than you think.
I guess.
But just like your favorite pair of gym shorts, eventually that runs out, and it's not as elastic as it used to be.
Yeah, a little prolapse action is fine.
You shouldn't prolapse your anus.
No, you shouldn't. Nothing.
It's like Dr. Drew said. Nothing bigger than the OK symbol.
Because like
it's not Shaq's OK symbol.
Right. But see, I always throw the OK with the middle finger.
You don't. No, you don't. Yeah, you shouldn't prolapse the anus.
Hey, thanks, Trevor. Hugs and kisses to you, my friend.
What's up, Trevor? Trevor and Gemma.
Hey, Trevor, put us on speaker at work.
Yeah, really. So
anyway, that was the traffic rant. I don't have anything else for that.
The only thing I was going to say was it really starts to fuck people up is when you get on Kingston Pike, where you have 2 lanes that go this way, 2 lanes that way, and then a turn lane that goes both directions, and that light goes out, and then you have the same thing. So basically, you've got 5 lanes every way, and people like, what the fuck do we do now? I was like, you take turns just like a stop sign. All 3 lanes go here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and you just continue that process until the light starts to work again.
It's not challenging.
It's not, but so many people don't know what to do.
I didn't even think about this. So, guy that I work with us from up north came down here. And I guess that he wasn't used to, and I never thought about it. Maybe they do have them, but like I know in New York and a lot of those places, they don't have a center turning lane.
Where?
A lot of the larger cities, right? Because they have turning lanes like at a light, but they don't have a full double yellow down the center. And they came down here, they call them suicide lanes, which I've never heard before.
Well, I mean, I get it, but yeah.
No, I get it, but I'd never heard that term before. They're like, man, you guys have those fucking suicide lanes down here. I'm like, Broadway is absolutely a suicide lane. People are fucking ass. I've seen more head-on collisions, or seen the aftermath of more head-on collisions there. Yeah, but I've almost been in a couple. But I get it. But I just thought that was funny.
Did I tell you about
because it freaked them out. Somebody was pulling out and to turn and got into the middle lane and turn their blinker on, and they didn't know what the fuck to do. They freaked out because they thought.
Did I tell you about the wreck that my daughter and I saw when we went to go pick up the dog she got? Well, my dogs are barking at.
Maybe I don't fucking remember.
So we're on our way to. We had to take the Cookville exit, I think. Regardless, we're headed up 40 that direction.
Right.
Anyway. And all of a sudden traffic starts to stop. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I see an 18-wheeler and I can't think of the exit, but if I tell you what it is, you'll know what I'm talking about. But thank you for that. When you're coming back toward Knoxville, there's this one. The exit is in the curve on the interstate, and it ramps up.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if this truck driver, God rest his soul, there's no way he survived. There's no way
you saw the wreck occur.
No.
Oh,
I saw the aftermath. It had just happened because no cleanup had been done. But I don't know if they missed the ramp, fell asleep, and drove up. But you go under there's an overpass there. The interstate goes under. That 18-wheeler went all the way up the embankment and hit the wedge where the concrete and the bridge go together. The entire 18-wheeler cab was shoved into the corner.
Oh, goddamn.
Into the corner, and the trailer was busted open, and everything in it was all over the road. It looked like grocery stuff all over the side of the road. And
was it holding up traffic? Because I would have been mad.
It was holding up traffic on the other side. It just made our side have to slow down. But it was crushed down to probably the height of my couch over there.
Oh, Jesus.
It was,
there's no way
the entire cap. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if he or she just dove into the floorboard and there was just that much room that they had to cut him out of. I don't know. There's just no way. But it wasn't on the way to get the dogs. We went to the hockey game because on our way back in the middle of the night, they were still cleaning that shit up. Yeah. It was insane. Yeah.
Have you ever, though, been in really bad traffic and thought to yourself, God damn it, somebody better have died for traffic to be this fucking bad?
Yeah. I have thought that, yes.
Yeah, and then you drive by and you actually see a mangled wreck. You're like, okay, it's justified traffic.
That happened to me on the way home from work about a month or so ago. traffic just started stopping at a place that there's no reason traffic should ever stop. There's no interstate merging. There's no exit. There's no anything.
In the fucking Chattanooga where that turn is.
Yes. There's no reason traffic should slow down there, but it always does. That's why I fucking hate driving through Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I've got to do it on the way to vacation this Saturday. I'm not happy about it. Anyway, traffic starts slowing down. I'm half a mile from work, and it's just nothing but open interstate right there. And traffic starts slowing down, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I get up there, and there's a pickup truck that a lady has flipped over in the interstate and flipped over, slid, and then rolled off of the interstate. And I'm like, all right, she managed to flip an interstate on a truck on open interstate. Bravo. I'll slow down for that.
We'll slow down for that. Yeah. So did I ever tell you about my one moment where I felt like super fucking cool? Like, I mean, I don't have many in my life, but so I was going up.
Second divorce?
No, I was very proud of that. But no, like I got to feel like I was in a fucking action movie. But so driving from Fayetteville to Shelbyville, you know, the ridge that you go over?
Yeah.
So
it's interesting to me that you say Fayetteville correctly, but Shelbyville wrong.
That's how everybody says Shelbyville.
Well, everybody else says
it's Shelbyville.
Sure, but everybody also says
Shelbyville.
Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Like Fedvull. Really,
but I still don't say Fayetteville. I just
no,
say
but you say Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You pronounce it with a southern twist, but you don't say Fayetteville.
Right. No, but I don't know. Shelbyville is one of those things. Right. Shelbyville, but that's how I always heard it pronounced.
It's like Maryville.
Yeah, like Maryville.
Except not Maryville. Maryville.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, coming up over there, there's a.
What's that smell on the highway before you get to Chattanooga?
Probably my sister's vagina. Okay, same thing. So jinx, but but no. So we're going up over that ridge, and a couple of the turns are banked the wrong direction. So instead of turning like here, they're out and they turn that way, not that steeply. But I was like 2 car lengths back. There's a tractor trailer, a car, and then me. And I look up and I'm keeping a little bit of space, but I see the truck go wobble, and like 2 tires come up on one side, 2 tires on the other. And I was like, oh fuck yes. Like I was so excited to see this. And sure enough, that motherfucker went to the side and just fucking hit and went. And the lady, people in front of me pulled over. I pulled over, and they're all just sitting there fucking looking, they're making their calls, but everybody's just staring. And there's fucking oil and gas leaking out from under the motherfucker. Nobody's come out of it yet. And I was like, what the fuck? So I actually went up and climbed up the side of the fucking tractor trailer, and I pulled the dude, and I guess he had a girlfriend or a wife in there. And when it fall over, it landed on her arm and just like fucking liquefy. Like her arm was fucking broke as fuck. And anyway, so I helped pull him out, and then I helped pull her out, like standing on the truck, side of the window in, stomach, pulled him out. And I was like, it's like a fucking movie, man. It's cool as shit. Got him out or whatever. And the dude's like, man, if y'all call the police, don't tell them I had nobody. I wasn't supposed to, for my insurance, have nobody in here riding with me. And I was like, well, you picked a bad day for that.
Insurance you have, and no one's supposed to be in the car.
I don't know if it was, I think it sounded like his company, like I'm guessing, probably had a no passenger policy.
I remember you telling me about this now, because I remember hearing that.
Pulled them out, whatever. And then the ladies evidently in front of me, one of them was a nurse, and she was like in the dude's face screaming at him about shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like they just had, stupid or not, a fairly traumatic experience, and his wife's arm is fucking shattered, or girlfriend or fucking hooker. I don't fucking know, but arm shattered. Like they're dealing with some things right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, my crowding moment was just to climb on top of a turned over 18-wheeler and pull people out of the window. I was like, I'm a badass. It's cool.
See,
it's no big deal.
In Huntsville, when you're coming down like Brindley Mountain and you hit that area on the Parkway, South Parkway, they call it Gasoline Alley. You cross over the bridge or whatever through there. My wife and I, a long time ago, were in one of those getting gas at one of those gas stations, and we're just talking as I'm pumping gas, and also we hear just tires squeal and turn and look at the perfect time to see somebody just like not T-bone, but like just head on to the corner of the car.
Yeah.
And this kid, which he was probably a few years younger than us at the time because we were young, but he gets out of the car and he gets out of the car and he like puts his hands on his face and then like slings his hands down and he goes, "You fucking bitch!" Like at the woman that hit him. She hit him.
Yeah, okay.
He just yells, "You fucking bitch!" And she gets out. She's drunk. Yeah. And probably looked like she's been on a pretty good crack bender as well. And she just rough. She fits the part. She's I mean, Central Casting couldn't do better. and And immediately we walk out and we're like, is everything okay? Are you guys okay? Like, what's going on? And look, and there's blood is just pouring out of the side of this guy's head where he hit just right. That is a tiny cut. Yeah. It's at one of those spots and blood's just gushing, pouring. And like, she's grabbing paper towels from the gas station, trying to like hold this on your head. And somebody's calling 911, ambulance is coming or whatever. And he's just, the whole time he's just gushing blood and just, I mean, he's just cussing this lady so much, and she's drunk, and she's like, "I don't know where you came from, right? You just came out of nowhere." And she wanted to call somebody to come and get her, but nobody would let her. But yeah, I'm assuming she went to jail that night. But that was anyway.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen one other bad wreck, and that was in Columbia, Tennessee. If you're coming out towards the railroad tracks, like you're going towards Lewisburg. Some dude, the big embankment, there's like a car lot there, and there's a bar restaurant that used to be there. As on the right hand side, if you're going out towards, like, you're heading towards Lewisburg or whether Petersburg or whatever.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The bowling alleys back off.
Oh yeah. I know exactly.
So dude comes flying around.
No one else listening knows, but I do.
Yeah, it's fine. But so we're flying on there, and it's raining, and this dude goes to pass everybody. He's fishtails, and he shoots off that embankment through a telephone pole. Like, I hit it, the telephone pole came back down. Like, I shit you not. Went through it. And then there's a parking lot full of fucking people, but there is a concrete embankment, and he hit that and fucking like teetered on it. So kept the other cars, whatever. And I was the first one. Like, I pulled over and like I run down there, and I open the door, and this dude's saying his leg is just fucked up. He's bleeding from his hip, and he's drunk as shit. And he's like, "I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I need to get out of here. I'm fine." And I was like, "No, dude, you're gonna have to hang around." I called 911. Cops are on the way. And he got up to get out of the car and stand up and just fucking collapse because he couldn't, his leg was fucked. And then like he's crawled up the embankment. He's on one foot trying to hop away like towards the back of his car. And like, I don't know how he wasn't in crippling pain. Like he was super fucked up. And dude, it was one of the funniest. Like, I felt bad for the guy, but it was amazed at the telephone pole. Yeah. And then B, to see this guy that leg was mega fucked, just be like, I'm fine. I need to get out of here, man. I need to go somewhere.
Jeez.
Like, you need to go to jail, motherfucker, or the hospital first, man.
Yeah. If you're not Trevor or Gemma and you've tuned into us now, chime in and let us know who you are. We're talking about very specific things that we know about, but you guys probably don't.
Yeah.
But the phone line is open.
It's an exclusive club.
Yeah. Well, this is an odd Wednesday night recording for us. We decided to live stream at the last moment. So if you got something you want to talk about, something you want to ask us, get a conversation going, call us. The phone line's open.
And we might ignore you because
we might not.
It's fine. You're much more welcoming to people watching, and
I like the interaction. I get tired of talking to you.
I'm always tired of talking to you, but
no. Yeah, I welcome the interaction. I like it.
I know.
So,
but you also care is the wrong word, but you want more of it than I do on a general basis. Like the presentation,
it's the feedback of it,
right? The feedback and the presentation of what we're doing is more important to you than for me. Like, how it sounds is most important to me. The rest of it, I could give fuck all about.
Sure.
Like, I don't even care how many people are listening to it. It's just like, as long as it sounds good, I'm happy.
Yeah. No, I got you. And I care about all of those things the same. Yeah. But I know it doesn't matter how good it sounds if no one's listening to it or watching. So that's the thing.
The weird thing to me. Okay, though, here's the thing. I didn't think we'd be doing this long.
Yeah.
Like, this is what, 97?
This is 97.
Which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
97 goddamn straight weeks of releasing episodes.
Yes.
It's fucking stupid. Like, people that actually have a fan base do this. Not us.
Sure.
But anyway, but the weird, like, the amount of listenership that we do have and interaction, as frustratingly low as it might be from time to time for how long we've been doing it, has really grown way more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Like, significantly more.
And it's these people watching that I talk to. It's because of them.
It's because of them.
It is.
Yeah. I just repeated the stream to get our numbers up to make you feel better.
Well, there's one number there's one number you can't fake that I look at, and you can't fake that by repeating it. Yeah.
Oh, I can do that. VPN, bitch.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Spotify can get around a VPN.
Not if you do it right.
Okay.
I learned from
I don't think that you can do it from the Russians.
No, I do. I shit you not. I do have the gear that I could throw up random IPs for, but that's way too much effort and time that I'm willing to put into anything. So, God damn it, I could. I just don't want to.
God, what was that? There was something else I was fixing to say, and I can't remember what it was. God.
I'll go ahead too, because I can admit when I'm wrong, which is often. And I am enjoying this evening more than I thought I would thus far.
I am too, actually.
Yeah,
I am too.
Like I did not. There was no part of me that wanted to be here tonight.
No, I didn't want to do it tonight. I
You
mean,
didn't-
I wanted.
You didn't want me to come over.
No,
tonight.
no, it's not that at all. I wanted to do it to get it done with,
Right.
rather than not have something
Right.
next Monday. But
Yeah.
that's it. Because my wife says to me last night, she says, "Can't you guys just do a best of episode?" And I said, "It would take so much more time to do that." She said, "Why? You guys both know how to handle audio." I said, "Handling the audio is the easiest part of it.
Sorting through.
I don't know." I said, "There's 96 episodes that we have to go through."
But that's the issue with us not editing, because we don't have a bucket of things that aren't used that we could stitch together. Like,
well, I also, she said, "Well, you guys should be having that written down, like what's what." I said, "I have notes from the episode,
right,
but I don't know where it falls in the episode and timestamps. I don't have timestamps on it." No. And she's like, "All right, well, I just figured that'd be something easy for the two of you to do." It's like, if we had timestamps, piece of cake. But you still have to sort through each episode and go, which ones do we want to use? I said, that's why people hire people to do that stuff.
But or even if we wanted to have occasional B-roll episodes,
we don't have B-roll. That. Right.
We don't edit, which is one of the things I love about this podcast.
Absolutely.
Because whatever people listen to, and we might have, if we actually had a nice, structured, edited podcast, our listenership might be through the goddamn roof. But you know what? Wouldn't be us.
You're right.
It wouldn't be me and you, baby.
You're right. You're right about that.
But that's one of the things. Okay.
But can you imagine though having to sit through?
Oh Jesus, no.
That episode every Sunday, and because we have, I mean, honestly, we have a really quick turnaround. I can only think of one podcast that has a faster turnaround than us, and that's because Adam Carolla records Monday through Friday. So they have to record and they edit their podcast.
Yeah, but they have a crew of people that do that.
Absolutely, he's got 20 or 30 employees for Carolla Digital, but. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine having to go through and because then when
that's
you edit the audio, if you edit the audio, well, I got to go now and listen to that audio, and I got to edit the video the same.
Right. Well, but that's why a lot of people too, they'll bank a couple and then edit and release.
And we started doing that. We just didn't like it as much.
Well, but my schedule at the time dictated it because I was out of town so much.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, shit, I'm only home every other weekend, so we've got to do 2 episodes, and that was fucking brutal.
Yeah. So we won't have a live show this Saturday night like normal, and we won't have one. Probably next Saturday.
But that's the thing is we're still doing a live show tonight.
We are, and that was a last minute decision. Yeah, it's like we're doing it. We might as well broadcast.
I was thinking the same thing on the way over.
Might as well.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything.
No,
but I don't know, man. It's such a weird thing. And I was gonna take something back. I said I only care about the audio and how it sounds, but I really don't. I also care about the fact that legitimately, if you listen to this podcast, or if you at all watch, interact, whatever, like you're not getting an edited version that's going to present any angle of us that we want it to. Like what you see is the shit show that is us.
Yeah, if you hung out with us, this is what you get.
Right. But that's one of the things I truly love about, like, I know that there are times like we've just have discussions offline about some things we might venture away from. Most of it revolves around social media posts. For the most part, when we got in here, it's anything fucking goes. You know, occasionally there's a thing, but that's only because walking the line between not giving a fuck and doing something that's like blatantly going to get us, you know, because neither one of us want to get banned from fucking Facebook for not being able to post because posting there. So you have to walk a little bit of a line, but obviously not much if you listen, if you listen to us, you know. I know, but that's one of the things I guess I really do, like, I am proud of, if I have to say something about our podcast, the fact that, and people that have been on the show will attest to it, is the fuck ever. Like, there's no cleaning it up and making it pretty.
No,
it's a train wreck all the time. Every
Something
week,
like that.
Every week, it's a beautiful, glorious, hilarious train wreck. Where more often than not, I sound like I'm fucking retarded, and you sound like you're really smart, which is the exact opposite of our real lives.
That's what it is.
No, it's amazing to me that we both sound smart where we work. Like, we both have fairly intelligent jobs. Right. And so the people we work with are like, oh, they either are secretly saying these guys are fucking idiots, or we've disguised ourselves really well to fit in with the outside world. I don't know.
When I tell people that I'm an analyst, their immediate reaction, they don't say it, but you can tell if it's like, oh
yeah,
all right.
Well, it's same with you. It's like, well, what do you do? Analyst, it's like, oh, I'm a systems engineer. Really? Are you really? It's like, no. But that's
not
my
really,
job title.
Not really, but that's my title. Yeah.
Like, I barely can figure out how to tie my shoes Fuck you.
What's interesting is like, and you make more money than I do. I have no problem saying that at all. But your job title is not what you do.
No.
Neither is mine, except mine plays down on what I do, and yours plays way the fuck up on what you do. My job title has analyst in it.
Yeah.
But the word that the two words that precede analyst way play down what my job actually is. Right. And yours really plays up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you're not an engineer.
No. What it does is it plays up the type of engineering that I do.
Yeah.
And because there's a little dash at the end of it that'll be like if you throw it all together, people are like, oh. But if I just throw out systems engineer, they're like, really? Or either that or wow. But then as soon as I tack on the little part that usually comes after it, then people are like, oh. It's like if you say, I'm an engineer. What kind of engineer? I'm an audio engineer. Oh. Yeah. Okay. You're an audio engineer. You're not one of us. Like that's how that works. Yeah, you go into a room of fucking software engineers or mechanical engineers or electrical engineers and be like, oh yeah, I'm an audio engineer. They're gonna go get fucked. Like you're not an engineer. You know how things sound and you can mess with fucking frequencies.
So I'm a member of what does it say?
Analyst. Absolutely right.
Yes, I am an analyst.
He's in my top 3 anal lists.
Yeah, I'm in my top anal list.
Yeah.
Keep it tight.
I will say tight. It's an easy 3 fingers.
Oh yeah, but that's still pretty tight.
Yeah, across, not punched across.
Yeah, but so I
like to give it the old.
Yeah,
I can't even get all 3 up. There we go.
I am a part of this Facebook group for the podcast I was telling you about. All these guys that work together,
right?
And I get ideas of things off of there to talk about and things like that, but. I enjoyed some of the humor and things like that on there, but one of the guys on that pod, well, they all are in some form or another. One of the guys is a legitimate audio engineer,
right,
and record producer, and he's toured with I can't think of the guy.
And there is
live sound and shit like that as well.
Yeah, that caliber for sure.
Yeah, and it's great. I'd love to have him on. His name's Mike Dawson. But
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. In Los Angeles, the greatest name for a company I've ever heard somebody do that does something like that, it's called Dos Angeles, because his last name is Dawson. I just think that sounds great. But anyway, regardless, somebody in that group posted, because they had talked about on one of their episodes about what would be a really awesome song if you were like the closing pitcher on a Major League Baseball team, the save. You're up by 2 in the 9th inning, and they bring you in to hold on to that win. The save. Like, what would you want to walk out to? Right. That would be really cool. And one of them said closing time, because it's not upbeat or anything, and that would kind of could get into the head of the other team. But especially if you could time it just right to where that first warm-up pitch hits on the downstroke of the chorus. And then other people said other songs, whatever. Well, somebody posted on there this thing that they had bought their fiance, because she and her fiance's song, and they don't like the song, but for whatever reason, they just break out into singing it to each other, is closing time periodically, just for funny. So for Christmas or something, she got this acrylic block that somebody made, and it's the waveform of the song closing time inside the block with a QR code that if you scan it, it'll play the song on Spotify or whatever. Which is
a pretty cool present, actually.
It is. If you're into that kind of thing, it's pretty cool. So it's just one solid waveform.
Right. Of basically the bounce track on a file.
Yeah.
I got you.
And Mike Dawson, who is the legitimate audio engineer, I saw him comment on there and said, "Why is it in mono?" This is the first thing he said on there.
I was just thinking the
same
thing.
It's the same thing because it doesn't look right.
Right.
It doesn't look right when you look at it.
Yeah,
if you don't know anything about audio, it looks fine to you.
Yeah.
But that's what he said. So why is that in mono? So anyway.
Stupid but amazing. And that was a really, really long way just to say that.
It was.
Jesus Christ.
Because I found little things here and there that I wanted to throw in.
Yeah.
About things
completely unnecessary.
You're right. Look, I don't fight it anymore.
Oh, I know. I know you don't.
I don't fight it.
I know.
Actually, I do fight it. I bring in way less than I'd like to.
I know. I know you do. Anyway. And I'm grateful of that. Because it's
killing me inside.
Well, that's even better. Oh, do you want to take a break, my friend, and lose the few listeners?
We might. Yeah, we just lost one as soon as we said break.
But by the way, those of you that are watching, we sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us on a Wednesday night.
Absolutely. We'll be back in roughly 10.
Lord be upon Brother Spencer as he preaches the Bible today. God, would you please bless him and help him? And I thought, oh, Lord, help me from not ripping this place in half when I preach. And I got up in Sacramento, California. I said, take your Bibles, the book of Romans.
I know that
guy. I preached against everything I could think of. I was preaching against stuff wasn't even wrong. Amen. I mean, I preached against Winnie the Pooh for a little while. I said, Winnie the Pooh is a weirdo. I said, he's satanic. You're putting your kids in front of that idiot box and making them watch Winnie the Pooh. And it's no wonder we got so many sissies around here because Piglet is an effeminate. Hallelujah. I said, he needs to get right with God and needs to get in the weight room doing some deadlifts. Hallelujah to God. Piglet needs a squat rack. Hallelujah. And I got up and preached and I said, and by the way, Tigger ain't fooling me. Tigger's a drug addict.
Wow. See, the only problem with you doing these cold coming in is it immediately puts me on a desire to have a church rant.
I know.
Every fucking time. But that guy, I think he's out of Pensacola, Florida. That particular guy.
I'm not sure.
Because I told you about the guy that used to scream like a fucking bitch on when he got really, the one that's like, that said you like the NIV version? Well, let me tell you something. A bunch of pot-bellied lesbians wrote your Bible. I think that's the same dude.
I'm not sure, but I'll see if I can find the name here in a moment.
Yeah, we don't have to do it right now, but yeah, that dude.
What did you say his name was?
I don't remember.
Spencer Smith?
I didn't say his name. I think
I'm
he's
just
out
saying,
of Pensacola,
does that
Florida.
sound familiar to you? Because that's what the guy here's giving credit.
Maybe. I don't fucking know.
Spencer Smith.
But I'd be interested because there's a guy that used to do that same scream on, because I used to listen to it when I was down there in Yale Bible School, just because I thought it was funny as fuck. Listen to that dude.
So I commented on that thing because the comment he had, or he or she, I don't know. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's not a woman posting those videos, probably a dude.
That's racist.
Yep. But I don't know. I just don't feel like women get caught up in that ignorant stuff like that. They get caught up in other ignorant stuff.
Yeah,
like
well,
name brands and expensive.
No, I find in the church anyway, a lot more of the well, I'm also caught up in is a lot more the name and claim it side of things.
Sure,
like
but
Joyce Myers.
This is all fundamental Baptist stuff,
right?
And men lead of that.
The few
that's
things
why
I've read on that, though, I don't think that's a serious page. I don't think it's stuff that he believes
don't think so?
in. I think it's just stuff he's sharing because it's fucking crazy.
Maybe,
yeah.
But the comments he puts on the video when he posts sounds as though it's supportive.
Really?
But, yes.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So, but I commented on it because it said Piglet and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are sissies or something like that, and that guy screams and he's like, right. Like really high pitched or whatever. I think I commented on there like, why does this guy sound like a sissy when he screams or something like that?
Because that's obviously what they're against. Is screaming like a fucking girl.
Yeah. There's one I've got that I'll play for you sometime on here where a guy is comparing and contrasting Roman slavery to American slavery.
What?
And why Roman slavery was worse and American slavery was not. Yeah.
Yeah. That is brutal.
Yeah, it's from the pulpit.
I've heard.
I've never heard anything positive said about slavery from the pulpit.
Right.
Now,
I wouldn't say that's not positive, but
that's no. He's like he doesn't.
What's the deal?
No, he doesn't. He never comes out and says American slavery was good,
right,
or was not bad or anything. But he's very much saying it's not nearly as bad as it's made out to be. And I'm like,
that's insane. I know I have 100% heard people talking about from the pulpit, like the vast majority of slave owners were kind and gentle people that treated their slaves with respect.
That's part of what he's going.
No. That's
and I've never heard that from. I've heard church people say stuff like that, but I've never heard that from a pastor or from the pulpit.
Yeah. You know what most of the problems in modern society stem from? And by modern, I mean the last like 200 years. And that's puritanical Christianity and the Catholic Church. Oh, absolutely. Most of our viewpoints on gender, on women, on minorities, on all of that shit is directly derived from Catholicism down. Because all Protestantism it was an offshoot of
Catholic,
but the way Protestants structure churches is incredibly Catholic. Nobody will admit it. They'll be like, no, we don't believe in that Catholic shit. It's like, okay, then why do you have a single head over your church and then another head over your region and then somebody that's over the entire denomination? Fuck you. That's a Catholic fucking trickle.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
And part of me when I was in church, like the non-denominational, you didn't have that hierarchy,
but you still did.
Right. Well, some like I went to a church when the first evangelical church that we went to, he didn't answer to anyone.
Okay.
But even Harvest Time didn't really answer to anyone. There was definitely a group of fivefold ministry people that got together for camp meeting and things like that, but he didn't really answer to anyone.
Right.
I mean, that's why he was able to stick his hand down people's pants. But
yeah, right.
Supposedly. But
I believe it 1,000%.
Yeah, I could be convinced either way.
Yeah.
That's what I'll put it that way.
The only thing
because he never tried it on me, and
you just weren't pretty enough.
I guess not.
No, and you weren't great because my understanding was there were some grown men involved.
There were all grown men that he was doing it to, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it that way.
Allegedly.
I don't want to get sued.
But allegedly. But my only retort, look at him.
Sure,
definitely
listen to him.
Definitely did it.
And I'm buddies with his son, and I feel bad about sometimes saying something.
We need to have him on here at some point.
He wants to be on here.
Why the fuck are? Because he's such a cool dude. He really is.
Oh yeah. I do too. He wants to be on here, and I've told him yes, but he wanted to come to Knoxville and sit in here.
And I think that's great.
He just moved to Texas.
See, I think it would be fun at some point because people typically don't want to call in, but it would be fun to have a listener oriented episode where we can interview listeners.
We can send anyone that wants to be on and be interviewed. We can send all of them the link, have them in the backstage of the thing, bring one up, and
that would be so fucking fun.
I would totally do that. So if you're listening to this, if the one of you that now is watching this wants to be a part of that, then please let us know, and we'll get a date together for everyone. It's going to be a Saturday night.
We know what we should do with this. We should plan it ahead of time and start putting announcements out to gather the information of people that can do it, and then blast an email out with a broadcast link, and then share it with your friends.
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. My goal, or my dream, I shouldn't say my goal. My dream is to one day be a place where people call for life advice.
Yeah.
Because for all the bullshit that we talk, and as much of a train wreck as my life has been, I consistently to other people have given pretty fucking good advice, legitimately, outside of the bullshit and us enjoying fucking with people. Like, I genuinely usually give really good advice to people. I don't follow it. I don't listen to it. But but it also, I have somewhat of a God complex because my brain works differently. Well, because I have this thing, like, my brain works differently, so I can see what your problem is. But it's not going to work for me because I don't have the same emotional investment in things as most people do.
Yeah.
So, and I recognize that and still fuck my life up. So, so there's that. But I don't fuck my life up in an emotional way. I fuck my life up in a selfish way.
I'm trying to process that. You fuck your life. How so?
In other words, the most of the decisions that I've made that have fucked my life up is because of something I wanted to do in a period of time. And I knew very well what the consequences were probably going to be, but I did it anyway.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes sense.
It wasn't an emotional decision. It's calculated.
Sure. That makes sense.
And what's weird though, is for as much as fucked up as my brain is now, like, looking back, you always look back through a filter, right?
Yep.
Like, you never can look back completely unbiasedly. But I can see a pattern in different ways, even when I was younger, that some of the shit.
Pat took a turn. Sorry, I'm trying to remember this.
Okay,
that's Michael Scott.
Yeah, but previously, god damn it, you just fucking derailed me with the Michael Scott quote, you goddamn asshole. But like, the level of disassociation with most normal things I have now wasn't always that level when I was younger, but there are elements of how I am now that make some things make sense that happened when I was younger, but I don't feel like it was near the severity that it is now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. Like, I feel like I was much more invested in certain things when I was younger because I felt like that's what I was supposed to be doing or should be doing, and did my best to fit into those places or to do the things that was required to do in those areas, even if I didn't get the feels for it. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
I truly believed, like, because for all of my faults, if I commit to something, like, at least initially it's both feet or no feet. Like I'll jump into
Sure.
whatever the fuck I'm doing. And yeah, I just feel like so I can see elements of that, but one of the reasons the church never stuck with me, or I had a really hard time with it, is because especially in the Pentecostal side of things, charismatic that we were in, there's supposed to be certain things you experience, certain
Right.
things that you went through, certain parts of that they were part of becoming to that I never had. And I can realize looking back, it's like because my emotions weren't involved in it. So there's no manipulations is kind of accurate, but not really. Because there was never any overwhelming feeling in certain areas because I didn't have those feelings.
Yeah.
Right. Like I wanted it. I thought it was this. And so
Sure.
I prayed and I tried and
Yeah.
whatever, but it just never happened because
you didn't have
my
enough
brain,
faith.
yeah, I didn't have faith. But no, my great brain chemistry did not allow those
Sure.
things to happen. But that bothered me for a lot of fucking years because I just thought I was broken, and I am broken. But I at least understand the way that I'm broken, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm just not good. That's what pisses me off more than any goddamn thing about the fucking church is that whole guilt thing that rides on you all the fucking time about not being good enough,
Sure.
not being able to achieve X, Y, and Z because you don't have enough faith. I was at the service, goddamn it, maybe 5 years ago, and there was a lady that was there and she was wanting healing, and she was in a fucking wheelchair. She was paralyzed from her goddamn just about not
Please tell me they
paralyzed.
stood her up and let her go and she fell.
Yeah. Well, they pulled her out of her chair crying. Sure. Obviously her, so I don't think she was paralyzed, but I think she had like severe atrophy in her leg, atrophy, whatever. Like, and she had like severe pain. She couldn't walk. And they pulled her up and they were like trying to make her walk, and she's fucking bawling. And because she didn't have enough faith to fucking get up and walk. I'm like, how fucking sadistic do you have to be as an organization to feel like that?
That might have been tears of joy.
No, she was A, in pain, and B,
she's crying in the spirit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, because then she was like, she was apologizing out loud for not having enough faith, like just bawling.
Right.
And I'm like, how sadistic of an organization do you have to fucking be to force that on some lady that all she wants to do, like you're dangling this promise of you can get better, this incurable fucking thing that you have. Oh, you can get better. You just have to believe hard enough. Oh, if it doesn't work and we pull you out of your wheelchair and you fall down in fucking pain, then, oh, it's your fault because you didn't have enough faith. Fuck that shit. I'm mad thinking about it. God damn it.
I understand. That bothers me too.
Yeah. I want to fist fight a pastor of I don't care. Give me a Pentecostal fucking pastor. I will fist fight them for no goddamn good reason other than it'll make me feel better to beat the fucking shit out of one of those assholes.
If he has enough faith, he won't lose the fight.
Right. That's true. It's true. His faith will block my fucking arthritic fist from breaking through his goddamn front teeth.
What would it take for you to stand up and say something in the middle of a service?
Not much these days. Not much these days at all. Like, I think it would
What stopped you from it then?
What's that?
What stopped you from it then?
I was involved in the church at that point in time. There was a whole bunch of reasons.
Just before you moved to Knoxville?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I assumed.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of shit going on that there was
Gotcha.
reason, but Amanda was the same way. We both were super fucking pissed about it. But I was, it was one of those things. I mean, I'm honestly a little ashamed that I didn't say something. Ashamed is the wrong word, but I wish I would have, looking back. But in the moment, I was on the stage. I was playing the instrument. I was a part of that, and I should have just walked the fuck out. But I didn't. I wasn't. Whatever reason, I fucking didn't. And I think some of those are the things we talked about, like habits that you have. Like, I'm in here and I've got to hold this post or whatever the fuck may be.
Sure.
And I think I would have a hard time depending on what it was if I was at a church by invitation of a family member.
Sure.
You know,
depending
on what it was.
Like, my thing would be more along the lines. I want to say somebody's like, all right, you think it's all faith based, like healing is because she didn't have enough faith. Like, maybe you didn't have enough faith.
Exactly.
Like, that's my thing. Like, maybe it's you.
Right. But just the whole fucking concept just pisses me right the fuck off, just because I've seen the abuse that it causes and then it's used. And like, you know me, like, I really don't give a shit about most people, but I fucking hate bullying. And I'm not talking about bullshit somebody called you a name bullying. I'm talking about using a position that you're in to fuck somebody else over intentionally and with malice. Fuck people that do that. Like, you don't prey on people weaker than you, period.
No, I agree.
Anyway, that was my fucking rant. That's, God damn you and those fucking TikTok clips, man.
I don't have a TikTok clip.
Isn't that not what you pulled that off of TikTok?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying because I just did that.
No. Goddamn you and the TikTok clips that get me set off on these fucking rants. So basically, the second half.
Go ahead.
Basically, the second half of every show is going to be ranting for at least fucking 10 minutes on whatever goddamn piece of shit clip you put in.
Sure.
I'm fucking mad now.
I know.
Fuck you.
Well, so I've got some articles.
We got news?
I wouldn't call it necessary. It's maybe a couple of other news, but some of them are just articles.
I actually pulled a WikiHow article because I know how much you love them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're going to have time for it tonight. So this is 16 actors who admitted that they regret past problematic roles that they played.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of detail in some of it, but
you got
still,
a nice little tick going tonight, by the way.
I do. Well, this eye is itching like crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I keep pulling my glasses off and shoving my shirt into it.
It looks like a tick.
Oh, I do have a tick.
I know.
But right now it's itching mixed with the tick starting.
But what's funny about the tick, though, is it's worse sometimes than others, and I'm so used to it I don't notice it most of the time. But because it's accentuated with the dry eyes.
Yeah. So Emma Stone,
I just feel like you're winking at me a lot.
Yeah. Emma Stone regrets playing a half Asian character in the movie Aloha.
Oh, she got a lot of shit for that, though. I remember that movie came out.
She played a character of Chinese and Hawaiian descent in the 2015 film,
which is not half Asian. That's like full fucking Asian,
I guess.
That's hilarious, but yeah.
What she said was, I've learned on a macro level about the insane history of whitewashing in Hollywood and how prevalent the problem truly is.
I bet she didn't give that fucking money back.
I bet she didn't either. I bet she didn't give it to Chinese people or Hawaiians.
I can tell you right fucking now, and I will say this 1,000 times. If you offered me $10 million to do anything in blackface, I goddamned would for $10 million. And I'd apologize later or just say, fuck you guys, I'm rich.
Yeah.
You know, which is shitty. I recognize how fucking shitty that is, but for that much money, that's life-changing money, man.
Sure.
I'll deal with the fallout and nobody liking me and thinking I'm a horrible person. Most of the people in my life do anyways.
Well, so she said she learned on a macro level about the whitewashing in Hollywood and how prevalent the problem truly is.
Okay.
It's ignited a conversation that's very important, she said in an interview. And in 2019, she yelled, "I'm sorry" to Sandra Oh when she made a joke about it at the Golden Globes. When Sandra Oh made a joke.
What's the good thing that she yelled, "I'm sorry"?
Gwyneth Paltrow cringes at her fat suit in the movie Shallow Hal.
That was a funny movie.
Yeah.
It
was okay.
It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but
well, in 2020, in an interview, she said in an interview with her assistant that the movie was a disaster.
Okay.
So, Jake Gyllenhaal says it wasn't right for him to star in Prince of Persia. I always wondered why he was the Prince of Persia in that movie. Let's see here. He said,
Did the Prince of Persia game ever specify that it was a Persian person?
I don't know. I just imagine if you're the Prince of Persia,
right. He did get very tan for the role.
Jesus was king of the Jews and he was Jew.
Yeah.
So
he was a Jew.
He was Jewish. Let's try to say the whole word next time. What he said was, I think I learned a lot from that movie. I guarantee you he didn't learn a fucking thing. No. But I think I learned a lot from that movie in that I spend a lot of time trying to be very thoughtful about the roles that I pick and why I'm picking them. And you're bound to slip up and be like, that wasn't right for me. Or that didn't fit perfectly, he said in a 2019 interview.
Oh my God.
Now, this is slightly different than the other ones. Scarlett Johansson backed out of playing a trans man in Rub and Tug after facing criticism. So, whatever.
But she backed out
had there been no criticism,
she would have taken the role.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
In light of recent ethical questions raised surrounding my casting as Dante Tex Gill, I have decided, that's a great name. I have decided to respectfully withdraw my participation in the project, she wrote in a statement.
Okay.
Our cultural understanding of transgender people continues to advance, and I've learned a lot from the community since making my first statement about my casting and realized it was insensitive.
Wow. Insensitive is a word that kills me. Because it's gotten to the point that insensitive is equated with evil or morally bankrupt or any number of things. Like being insensitive is almost as bad in a lot of people's eyes as being racist or as being a thief or a cheat or whatever, like legitimately like moral issues they may face. Insensitive is thrown in there with them. And that is insane to me.
Yeah.
I'm insensitive. you're insensitive. But I don't fucking understand.
Yeah. Zoe Saldana says, and Zoe Saldana is one of my Hollywood crushes.
Okay.
But Zoe Saldana says she never should have played Nina Simone.
And what the fuck are you talking about?
Zoe, who is Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Lebanese ancestry, was cast to play the legendary black singer Nina Simone in a 2016 biopic. She wore.
I hate when you say biopic.
That's how it's pronounced. I looked it up the other day because we had the conversation upstairs.
Biopic.
Here. It's pronounced biopic.
I know. I still hate that.
It can be pronounced either way, but the pronunciation that comes up when you Google it is biopic.
I know. I still hate it though, because it feels really.
Why?
Dumb.
Because it's a biographical picture.
Right, but it's not a picture.
No fucking shit.
No, I know, but I know movies.
It's a biographical picture show.
Right. No, I just say but the pronunciation of it grates me. Like I understand correct. Like it doesn't bother me, but it's one of those things that the correct pronunciation it annoys me. Like biopic sounds.
I always thought it was biopic, and I heard somebody say biopic, and I thought, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does make more sense. I just don't like the pronunciation of it. Yeah.
Oh well. She wore dark makeup and a prosthetic nose for the role. She said, I don't know. But Dominican people are considered black people, correct? But of Hispanic descent, right?
I think, and as a large net,
I may be wrong.
No,
but
I think as a large net is being cast, it's just a darker skinned Hispanic. I think it's generally where that mindset comes from.
That's fine. Yeah, my bad. I apologize for my insensitivity and my thoughts on the Dominican
I could be
people.
incorrect as well. I just know that
they're great baseball players.
Right, absolutely. But no, I just know for a few of the Hispanic guys that I've worked with, like in the Coast Guard and shit, like because I had that big conversation with a buddy of mine that was from born and raised, I think he was Puerto Rican, but about the Hispanic,
so American,
but like his family was native Puerto Rican before American, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
before we owned the islands,
right? But I know I had a whole conversation with him as far as like I find it odd that amongst races that there's racism within the races.
There's absolutely hierarchy. Asians,
right?
Hispanics,
and while I was talking to him about the Hispanic or Latino hierarchy, and he was like, no, like the Spaniards are at the top.
Yeah. Spain. Yep.
And then it goes down to different things. And I'm trying to remember, it was, I think Mexicans and not Cubans. It was one of the ones he said are like at the very bottom. Like everybody's like, fuck them. But I think like Dominicans are in that chain as well. So I think as far as at least in the Hispanic community, that I think they're viewed on the Hispanic scale, not the African American scale.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Well, my bad. So what she said about this, I should have done everything in my power with the leverage that I had 10 years ago. I should have done everything in my power to cast a black woman to play an exceptionally perfect black woman. She said that on Instagram in 2020.
Oh, as long as it's on Instagram.
Right. Rooney Mara regrets accepting the role of Tiger Lily.
Oh, for
a Native American character.
Yeah, Tiger Lily. That
was the
would
adaptation of Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, yeah.
She said, I really hate that I am on that side of the whitewashing conversation. I really do. She said that a year later. Right. I don't ever want to be on that side of it again. I can understand why people were upset for sure. Well, once on that side, always on that side. I mean,
here's what gets me about that, though, right? I get actors and actresses have say in the roles that they pick. That, they're not forced to play a role.
Sure.
However, kind of like I said earlier, and I understand that there is significant whitewashing in Hollywood and across like American history in general. I fully understand that. But it's like I said before, as a human being, if somebody's going to offer me, if I'm an actor and somebody's going to offer me millions of dollars to play a role of any race, creed, religion, sexual orientation, if I can make fucking millions of dollars, I'm making millions of dollars.
What's the lowest number you would do blackface for? No, seriously.
No,
we'll start a GoFundMe.
Yeah. No, it would have to be significant enough that I wouldn't have to work and my family would be taken care of anymore.
Okay, so you wouldn't do it for $1 million.
No, it would have to be more than $1 million.
But you said 10 earlier. Is 10 million a good
10 million
number?
is a great number, yeah.
5.
5 would be on the fence. Like I'd have to be
the bubble number.
That's the.
It's like you said under 5. I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
6 or more, I'm taking it. And they offered you 5.
Right. I'd be like, well, the reason is because nowadays 5 million is not like it was fucking 20 years ago.
No, now 5 million would do a lot. Me and my kids. My wife,
but here's how I look at it though.
Out of debt.
But here's how I look at it: $5 million, but that has to cover you amongst never being employed again and ostracized from everyone and possible lawsuits.
I could buy a lot of Dogecoin with $5 million,
right?
And Elon's taking that shit to the moon,
right? So. Absolutely. No, so it would have to be enough money for me to be able to take care of myself and my family for the foreseeable future.
Sure.
Because me doing that could potentially also affect my kids. Grandkids, people have forgot about that shit by then, but it would have to be enough to carry me and my kids through their lives. If that was the case, which I feel like if you were wise with 10 million, that would be a feasible thing to do.
Yeah.
1 million, fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be still tough to turn down $1 million.
It would be tough to turn down $1 million, but I would have to, but if you have to look at it from all angles,
absolutely.
You have to be able to like provide for people. And because after you did that shit publicly, you're fucking done. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to get shit. People are going to attack your family. Like you got to be able to bubble, cocoon, and separate yourself from the rest of the world.
I bet I could buy Epstein's Island pretty cheap. I bet it's on a bargain right now.
Yeah. But I
have to kick the Clintons off.
But that's the thing, because I'm honest enough to admit it. There is very few things that I would not do for the right amount of money.
I think if they were honest, both intellectually and just straight up honest,
right?
Most people are that way.
Yeah.
Most. There are some people that maybe they're not.
Yeah.
My wife is one of the ones that says I'm not motivated by money to do certain things. Like there's things I wouldn't do for money.
Yeah. And see, I'm not like that at all because I recognize that money doesn't equal happiness, but money equals comfort.
Yes.
Right. Money equals
comfort equals happiness.
Right. And comfort can equal happiness. Right.
Yes.
And like your problems don't go away with money, but your ability to handle, to deal with, or to
problems are a lot easier to deal with when you can throw money at them.
Right.
Yes.
And within reason, because obviously, like, if you deal with a fucking mental illness, money can't, like, get rid of that, but money can pay for therapy that can help with those things, right? So,
you hear people talk about so-and-so has money, so-and-so has fuck you. What was the Chris Rock joke that Jay-Z has fuck you money?
Okay, yeah.
Beyonce has no fuck you money. Like, I won't fuck you money, but I won't fuck me money. I want money that I can spend that I hurt for it because it's making you hurt. It's like, I'm willing to lose $10 million in lawyer's fees to keep you from getting $1 million in the settlement. That kind of money. I want that kind of money.
Yeah.
No, that's fuck me money. It's more money from me, but you're hurting because of it too. And that's what I want. So anyway, this next one out of all of the other 6 that I've went through, this is the one that bothers me the most so far.
Real quick though, before you get to that, just on that note of money, it would take less money for me to murder another human being than it would for me to do blackface.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Which is
because it's not public. Murder is not going to be public for one, so you're not really
necessarily. There'd be some stipulations on me getting away from the murder.
But, absolutely, yeah.
But no, I would absolutely murder someone with my bare hands for less money than it would take me to do. Like, and depending on how bad the person was, I would murder pretty fucking cheaply.
Absolutely,
but you'd have to guarantee me immunity from or impunity. Would that be the right word there? I never can remember.
No, I think immunity is right. But impunity is pretty close. But I have them backwards. Anyway.
Whatever. Anyway, continue.
So this one here, and this bothers me not because of who it is, because I really don't care for this guy that is the supposed culprit.
Okay.
But Jimmy Fallon apologized for playing Chris Rock on Saturday Night Live in blackface.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly, Chris Rock didn't have a problem with it. That's one reason it doesn't bother me. But 2, it was paying tribute to Chris Rock on SNL. And that's the thing, is like, because intent has to be considered in all things.
And SNL's whole thing has always been to push boundaries and to be
look at one of the classic sketches, Richard Pryor and Chevy Chase, where Chevy Chase straight up says the N-word.
Yeah.
And I mean, which Richard Pryor wins out in that skit because he says honky, and then Richard Pryor says the N-word, and Richard Pryor then says dead honky.
Yeah.
It's a great sketch. I mean, go find Richard Pryor and Chevy Chase doing that sketch and watch that video. It's on YouTube. It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
It's great. But anyway, Jimmy Fallon apologized for playing Chris Rock on SNL in blackface. Let's see here. It was really good impersonation too, actually, and I don't like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
What he said about it in 2000, while on SNL, I made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface. There's no excuse for this. I'm very sorry for making this unquestionably offensive decision, and thank all of you for holding me accountable.
That last line is enough to make me want to punch him in his sackless little fucking dick.
Yes.
Like, if you're gonna, I recognize that if you sincerely fucked up in your past, to apologize for it. I recognize that. But when you do, as an actor or anybody, if you do a joke, skit, or whatever, that in the moment or at the time was not unacceptable, was in fact accepted, and the person that you're doing it with was okay with it. Like, if all those things are met, then fuck people. But what that is it's survival mode. It's finding those things you're getting shit about from your past and apologizing for them just so you don't get taken.
Please don't stop liking me.
Exactly.
That's
all it is. And that's one thing I love about fucking Dave Chappelle. I love about fucking Bill Burr. I love about fucking Australian dude. I never can remember.
Jim Jeffries.
Those dudes that for the most part do not. Chris Rock's kind of the same way. I don't think he's ever really apologized.
I've never seen him apologize.
But they do not apologize for their jokes. Like, I don't care how insensitive they were fucking 20 years ago. They're like, yeah, I made the joke. It was cool then. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, good for you.
And then they'll say, like, it wouldn't work now and I wouldn't do the joke now.
Right.
But it did then, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know,
like, I have much more respect for that.
Absolutely.
If I can, you can say it's like, I recognize that now you're offended and this is, it would be considered insensitive, but I don't do it now.
Yeah.
So fuck.
And most of them will also say, if you want to come up to me and talk to me about it, that's fine. But if you want to come up to me and yell at me about it, fuck you. I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
But anyway.
And that's a whole different, but those are, to me, the same. One's a much healthier way to deal with it than the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the one that's way more healthier is to be like, to own that you did it, and I'm not apologizing for it, but let's have a discussion about context and intent.
You notice that people that handle it that way, like, most of the time that the woke mob just kind of goes away because you're you know, it's an empty bag there. You're not getting it. You're not. I don't think that they really are after the apology as much as they're after that vindication of ruining someone. Well, not just because there's a lot of times that they don't ruin anybody. They just get that apology, and they're not after the apology. They're after that attrition, and they're after that control that they feel like they have. Yeah. Of I'm a no one, but I can get this super celebrity to acknowledge and bow. Yes, that's the thing. Yeah. And they, I agree.
But the problem to me is that when that trickles down to laymen, so to speak, that aren't celebrities and that aren't famous people, that same kind of thing happens to them. Something pulls out of the woodwork and suddenly their lives are ruined because of one fucking thing.
Sure.
Like the Cecil the Lion motherfucker, to throw it way back. Like all that
dentist. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That dude's life got fucking ruined because he did something that, as far as he was concerned, was completely legal.
Absolutely.
Was in the right, had the permits for it, paper, all that shit.
Yep.
And even the people where he got it they were like, okay, fucking whatever.
What lion?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was his name. Okay.
Yes, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it became this big fucking outrage. And this guy's life got ruined because these fucking mob justice.
Well, not just his life, but his family's life.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Completely fucking ruined.
Well,
that's the shit that annoys me. Like, this is why I feel like, never mind. I'm going to keep that one to myself for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so,
like, if you could round up all of these people in a room and fucking mass shoot them, I completely support that action.
Yeah. So
there you go.
So, I mean, all right.
R.I.P. Ron.
I'm treading lightly here. Yeah. I'm treading lightly on what I'm fixing to say. I'm trying to tread lightly anyway. George Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah.
Who should have faced consequences for what he did.
I think he should have gone to jail. Yes.
Yes. However, is it Russell Simmons? Is he the one that did it?
Richard.
No. No. I'm pretty sure it was Russell Simmons. Tweeted out the man's home address.
Yes.
That doesn't affect George Zimmerman only.
No.
Now his wife and kids are in danger.
Absolutely.
He is just as guilty as George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
If something happens to that, if something had happened to that family, he is just
because the internet mob or the world mob, they don't care that it's because they want everybody in his circle
Yes.
that might think he's a person to fucking suffer too. And that's bullshit. Like, I 100% believe in personal accountability. Fine.
Yeah.
But when you start fucking other people's lives up that have no ties or just by
Absolutely.
relation, like his kids can't control that's his dad.
That's
their,
right.
Their dad.
Absolutely not. And now you've put them in danger.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people are fucking stupid and they're fucking crazy.
Yeah. Some Antifa dumbass is going to go there and throw a Molotov cocktail through a window or something, and somebody's going to die.
Right.
And it's not going to be him.
Yeah. Or vice versa. If it's a different case, you're going to have some fucking Proud Boy show up with some shit, because people are fucking stupid. I don't understand the mindset, but that mindset is fucking dangerous as shit. And that's a big thing, man, that I've seen. Well, both of us have seen a lot of the last 10 years or so, is that increase of when somebody does something wrong, is people looking for their address and putting that shit on the internet so people can find them and do shit. Like, fuck them. They should be fucking prosecuted for that shit.
Oh, I agree.
Because it's not about, maybe the information is publicly available, but it's not about the fact of republishing public information. It's republishing that information with intent to harm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Anne Hathaway apologized to people with limb differences for her role in The Witches.
I heard about
she
this.
She played
this
the Grand
stupid.
High Witch in 2020's The Witches, and special effects were used to give her 3 fingers on each hand.
Yeah.
It's not even a limb difference. That's digit difference. A limb is when you lose an arm or a leg.
It's a phalange difference.
There you go.
Yeah.
Special effects were used to give her 3 fingers on each hand. The portrayal was seen as offensive by some.
Yep.
With one advocacy group suggesting that filmmakers use limb differences to make her more creepy and sinister. She said,
"It is more creepy if you only have 3 fingers, and you are way creepier than somebody with 5. Sorry."
Yeah.
Like if there's somebody who went up to shake my hand and they only had 3 fingers, I would still shake their hand, but inside I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. Wipe your hand afterwards.
We love CQ to death. He had some fingers shot off. It'd be weird as fuck to shake his hand.
Right.
I love the guy. I still would, but in my head, I'd be like, it's kind of weird shaking a hand with less fingers.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I have shook hands.
As have I.
I have shook hands with less fingers. It does feel weird.
Yeah. No, one of my uncles had a fucking his ring finger cut off on his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd shake his hand, like, hey, nice to see you. And you'd feel that nub pressing into your palm. And that shit felt weird.
Yeah.
Still family. It was still fine. Like, I didn't not shake his hand, but it felt weird.
Football coach in high school, his ring got caught on a nail jumping out of a barn loft and ripped his finger off.
Yeah.
And he talked with his hands and he would do this all the time. And that's all you never heard anything he said, because all you could focus on was that one gap there between his fingers.
Because it's different. It's not normal to have less than 5 fingers.
Right.
Whether it's due to an accident or whatever, it doesn't make you bad.
Right.
But it's weird.
Yes.
It's like, have you ever seen somebody missing a toe?
Yes.
That shit's super weird.
I went to school with a guy that had 2 of his toes were webbed together. And that fucking shit looked like one massive, incredible Hulk toe.
Right. But you look at it and you're like,
my thought was, I would be in my bedroom with a razor blade trying to cut those things apart.
Yeah. But people, because there was a time, and people have always been weird about it, but I feel like there are moments of like owning the shit that makes you weird, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I recognize the fact that
circus
I have
freaks,
6-figure circus freaks, right? And not necessarily to exploit. I mean, they made a living out of it, but I mean, just for the purpose of realizing that this is like, I got this shit that's weird about me. Fuck you,
Right.
I don't know. But, and I get people are self-conscious, but the whole point now is like we've talked about before, feelings are more important than fucking fact. And the fact of the matter is, if you only have 3 fingers, you're different than like 98% of the population on the planet. You're fucking weird.
So I saw this video of this chick, and she owns it. Like, she really owns it with these videos, but something about the way her bone structure and her hands are, she only has like a thumb and forefinger and then these 2 fingers. But where this finger is, this didn't grow. So there's this massive split here.
Whoa.
So it's not only that there's just 4 fingers, but that shit splits apart as well. So she can like reach the whole length of a guitar neck just about. Like, she could play some fucking sweet Dave Matthews chords. I mean, no, but it's in both hands are like that. It's very, I don't know. It's very X-Men ish.
Yeah.
It's weird, but she owns it. Like, because one side, because of the way the bones are, like, she can fucking wrap that shit around. And
dude,
stuff
she
like
could
that.
finger bang 2 bitches at one time with one hand.
4.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And her thumb probably bends enough she can get herself in there. Oh God.
One on each thumb. Oh, Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what Anne Hathaway had to say about this, and that's fine.
We're still talking about this.
I have recently learned that many people with limb differences, especially children, are in pain because of the portrayal of the Grand High Witch in The Witches. As someone who really believes in inclusivity and really, really detests cruelty. That's how you know she means it. Because she doesn't really detest cruelty. She really, really detests it. I owe you all an apology for the pain caused. I am sorry. I did not connect the limb difference with the Grand High Witch when the look of the character was brought to me. If I had, I assure you, this never would have happened. It's easy to say that after the fact.
And especially
but here's
after the
my
payday.
thing. Here's my thing about most roles like this. Bryan Cranston got some beef because he played a guy that was a paraplegic.
Right. Well, we've talked about this. Yeah.
It's fucking called acting.
Yeah.
It's not acting if you're paraplegic playing a person that's paraplegic.
Well, even outside of that, like, I get that you're still acting in whatever role, like as a different person, but the budgetary and this is, I understand the arguments against both sides, but do you know how difficult it would be to find a paraplegic actor that could act on par with Bryan Cranston?
Not just that, but I've heard Jim Jeffries talk about this because the show that he did, which I can't remember what it was called now, but it was a great show. It went 3 seasons, I think, on FX. It was insane, but he had so many people and characters in it that were, you had Down syndrome, you had cerebral palsy, you had all kinds. And like one of the things he said, I wouldn't go back and change it, but he said it made production hard because they're only allowed to act by union standards so many hours in a day. Right. And so if you're not done, that's just the way it is. Right. For that day, you're done. Right. Figure out some scenes that they're not in, but most of the scenes had them in, and he got some praise for using so many people with mental disabilities and physical disabilities and things like that. But that's the thing is, like, it's not, that makes it more expensive to make a movie, but harder to make a movie as well. But again, it's called acting. Right. Look at Sean Penn in I Am Sam. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. I think he did a phenomenal job in that movie. Yeah. I also would like to say I've never seen him come back and apologize for that. Yeah. Never heard Robert Downey Jr. come back and apologize for Tropic Thunder. Maybe he has, but I've never heard
that's just now becoming a thing, by the way. Nobody gave a shit about it, but the newer generation of kids are starting to discover Tropic Thunder, and now you're hearing a little more outrage about it. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. He was
on Rogan a year or 2 ago, and Rogan asked him about it. It's like, and he kind of laughed it off and was a little bit like, yeah, well, you know, what are you going to do? Right. You know, but he did say, it was like, you couldn't do that now. And I wouldn't do that now is what, you know, I think. But I mean, to me, he's the best part of that movie.
But for me, though, and some people might disagree with this. They will. But I don't feel like that he did a role in blackface.
No. He played an actor that had his skin dyed black
for
another movie role.
So to me, what he was doing, and maybe this is splitting hairs. You are an expert at that, so you might know
being
better.
Literal.
But to be so his role is he's playing a white actor that's playing an actor that's a type of blackface.
Yes.
He, as Robert Downey Jr., is not taking a blackface role. He's taking the role of a man that's doing things in blackface.
If anything, Australia should have beef because he played in Australia.
Right.
If anything.
No, but I mean, to me, like, if they made
Trevor, are you still on here?
I don't know. But if they made a reenactment, or we'll say a documentary, but not like a traditional type of documentary, like a historical drama, right? Telling the story of like the minstrel age and how fucked up that was.
Sure.
You would have to have, and I think that's the reason why they didn't, but you'd have white actors playing blackface.
You would have to have a white
actor. Because that would be, they wouldn't be getting in blackface for the role they're playing, that person got into blackface.
Yes.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't justify being in blackface, but it's not, you're not playing the role of a black man in place of a black man, right? You're playing a person that would do those things, and that's part of a role from time. You know what? Does that make sense?
I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Do you think that there is a prominent white actor right now that would play that role? of those minstrel shows and go don blackface for that.
There's not many that I would see being willing to do it.
Who do you think would do it? Daniel Day-Lewis?
Daniel Day-Lewis. Yep. I think that if there is enough quote unquote meaning that could be assigned to the role, I could see Robert Downey Jr.
Clint
doing
Eastwood.
it.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Fucking Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, man. No, honestly, I could see Downey Jr. doing it if it was like Crispin Glover. God damn it, that weird motherfucker would do it.
I haven't heard anything from him in a long time.
He's so fucking weird.
He is
and he's been just in random shit. But I could absolutely see Daniel Day-Lewis doing it if there was like,
Tom Waits. And even though he's a musician, but he's done really good acting jobs. So,
yeah, he's not a great actor though. He's Tom fucking
No,
Waits.
but I think he would be great in a role like that.
Right.
Because
but
those guys had to be weird. But
yeah,
anyway.
but I'm trying to think of more of like the people that could play that flighty. Like when you think of minstrel shows, they weren't usually these, manly men.
No,
because anybody in those roles,
they weren't fundamental Baptists for sure.
Right, for sure. I don't know though. That's an interesting question to think of what actors today would be willing to do that for whatever reason. Because to me, and again, treading a little lightly, there is value in almost any artistic expression.
Yeah.
In almost any.
What do you think there's not, what artistic expression do you think there is no value in?
Artistic.
Dubstep.
Yeah, dubstep. Skrillex. No, artistic expression for the specific purpose of spreading like harm.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
Nazi propaganda.
Like if
Banksy.
you're no, Banksy's not, fuck you. I like Banksy.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know, but no, but seriously, like if you're an artist and you're a neo-Nazi and you specialize in making Nazi propaganda or neo-Nazi or KKK propaganda, then fuck you. Your art's not it's not contributing anything. But I mean, to me, art should be challenging and it should challenge the status quo and call things into question. But I feel like if the intent behind the art is to be harmful, then there's not a lot of value in it. Does that make sense? If the intent in creation is to harm something, it's like the difference between like you and I both believe in 100% free speech. Say what the fuck you want, but there's consequences to said speech.
Absolutely.
But
there just shouldn't be legal consequences.
Right. But I feel like, and I think we've talked about this, that legal consequences are acceptable to me if you're intentionally using your speech to harm someone else.
Well, sure, but that's not protected under free speech.
Right. But that's my point though. Say whatever the fuck you want, but as soon as you say, hey, you should kill this motherfucker.
Yes.
It's no longer free speech.
Well, that's not protected under free speech as the laws stand right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So art that seeks to intentionally cause harm, I don't see value in it. But like say you're doing.
But should it be
regulated?
No, that's not what I was gonna say. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. But no, like say somebody decided they wanted to do a biopic about people or even just in historical fiction, whatever, of like that time with the minstrel shows. You would have to have actors willing to do blackface to capture that properly. And I don't feel like that would be with the purpose of harming as much, at least if they did it in a way to show.
I would like to have enough faith in humanity that there wouldn't be an outcry for that. But I think that there would. Like I said, I would like to have that kind of faith. But I think I tell you who could do it, could get a white person to play the role. And doesn't give two fucks about what people think. Exactly who I was going to say, Quentin Tarantino. But get Christoph Waltz to do it.
Right. I could see Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz is fucking phenomenal.
But he takes his shit fucking serious.
He does. He's insane.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But
he could probably get Leonardo DiCaprio. He got Leonardo DiCaprio to play a slave owner.
Yeah.
I mean.
But I was going to say but it's a shame to me, and at least in mainstream filmmaking, I'm sure this exists outside of what I'm aware of. But really since Roots, not counting fucking Django,
sure, there
has yet to be, again, I'm talking about mainstream, and I might be unaware of them, but a modern adaptation showing there's the movie called Harriet about Harriet Tubman and a few things like that. But I mean, a major blockbuster actually delving into fucking slavery,
sure,
hardcore. Roots was one of the first things on TV that did, and that fucked some shit up, man.
It did.
But to have something of that caliber, I guess, to be released, I think that would be cool as fuck. It would be hard to watch, but I think it would.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing about Django that is harder. I mean, I absolutely Love that movie. I think.
But I feel like the purpose of that movie wasn't to shine a light on or do anything. It was just the story of Django.
Yeah, I mean, I think the purpose of telling the story of Django was to a bit to shine the light on it. Not completely, but a bit to shine. I think that was an added bonus, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, that's one of the things about watching Django. That's the biggest thing to me is like, how the hell did anyone ever think? And I know we talked about this last episode, and it's like Christianity. That's why. Yeah. But anyway, my thing is like Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and mostly Leonardo DiCaprio. Right. I don't know how you play those three roles any better than they played those roles. For sure. At all.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, and I didn't quite get to this point, but the fact of that's the most raw movie involving slavery that's been on the mainstream a long time, and it was still directed and put together by a white dude. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the type of story, but it was a very Quentin Tarantino story.
Absolutely.
Right. Over the top, excessive. And I'm not talking about the slavery side. I'm just talking about with the language and the extreme that he puts out there, like the way he makes films and the reason he makes films.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that anybody that makes a major blockbuster is doing it to make any type of massive artistic, but I'm interested enough. Like, I love the dark side of humanity enough. Like, I would love to see like something that's, because a white dude, no matter what, like Tarantino, for all of his awesomeness, and he's got this amazing rapport with multi races of actors because he's willing to do what the fuck ever for his films. But to actually see a movie like that made from a black perspective and make it as fucking dark and real life as it would be, that probably wouldn't be a mainstream movie, but like, I think that shit would be amazing to fucking watch. Amazing.
As much as I can't stand him, Spike Lee, I can't believe he hadn't done something like that yet.
But I think some of it's funding, there's all shit that I'm not aware of and don't have anything to do with. But I'm just saying I would like to see something that made the same discomfort as Roots did on a mainstream, on a major fucking release on stuff. And again, I'm sure there's tons of it. The dude from Key and Peele, I never can remember his name. The guy that's
Jordan Peele.
He's the one that did like
Get Out and Us.
Yeah, for the most part, like I feel like those are fairly groundbreaking films. The way he
Get Out for sure, I was. Us, I didn't care for that much.
See, I liked Us. They're very similar. Like the Us fucked with me a little bit more, not like scared wise, but the concept I liked better than Get Out. Like Get Out was fucked up and was a better movie, but conceptually I liked Us better. If that makes sense.
No, I get you.
Yeah,
I much more understood and picked up on what Get Out was trying to say than Us. My daughter and I both watched Us more than once and was like, I just don't get it. Like, I think it's not portraying what he wants to portray as good as it could be. But whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think Get Out was scary. Like, I was like, oh, it's so scary.
No, it's not scary.
No,
very few movies to me are scary at all. We had this conversation with
Cordell and Justin. Yeah.
Like I have movies that are more creepy, like because the thought of which them not liking the Babadook, by the way, like that tells me.
Well, Cordell doesn't like scary movies.
Right. No, I'm talking
Justin. As much as I enjoyed talking to Justin, I think he's a bit pretentious when it comes to movies.
Oh, he is for sure. Because the thing with the Babadook, even if you don't consider it to be a great horror movie, it's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. Like, whether you think it's scary or a great horror movie or not, he's like, oh, it's too artsy and pretentious. I'm like, you're too fucking artsy and pretentious. You fucking bitch drinking bitch.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
But I don't know.
It's like somebody that loves jazz saying Queen was too artsy and pretentious.
Right.
Like, okay, but Queen's fucking great.
Right.
They have some shit songs, but they're fucking great.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't think Freddie Mercury is the greatest frontman of all time, you can eat a fucking bag of dicks.
Yeah.
There has been no one to come, and I love my fucking modern day music.
Absolutely.
God damn it. If there was someone that would come along that was as good of a frontman and Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco is probably the closest thing to a modern day Freddie Mercury, but he doesn't fucking scratch the surface.
He does. No.
Fuck him. But but dude,
it's so hard for me and
somebody could rock that hard with a goddamn mustache.
And that's the crazy thing.
And still be sucking dicks and have AIDS.
That's what I was going to say. So many people were like, "There's no way he's gay. Just look at him. Look at them. Look at this great mustache."
That was the giveaway. That was the giveaway.
I've watched the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, in its entirety, like start to finish once, but multiple times, bits here and there. And I can't stand Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
But the Freddie Mercury story and the story of Queen and all that is just so fascinating.
I still would love to see the Sacha Baron Cohen
absolutely
version.
That's it.
You know why they didn't make it, right?
Well, he didn't get along with the director. The director didn't like him or something like that.
That and Brian May didn't like
was
him.
it? I didn't realize it was
because
Brian
the
May.
story he wanted to tell was a lot darker and true to what really went on behind the scenes than what Queen was wanting to put out.
And I also think he wanted
brand.
it more about Freddie Mercury as well, and Queen wanted more about the band.
Yes, but he wanted to really go into the dark side of Freddie Mercury and some of that shit, and they just they're protecting their image as their band because they're still playing shows, and I get that, but I feel like that because Sacha Baron Cohen, he's a phenomenal fucking actor, storyteller.
He's a comedic genius, but he's also a great actor, just a great actor and great storyteller. Yeah. And not to mention, he's a good looking Freddie Mercury.
Did you see the pictures of him as Freddie Mercury before? They were better. They look so much better than what the fuck.
And I'm pretty sure Freddie Mercury, obviously no one can sing like Freddie Mercury, but I'm pretty sure Sacha Baron Cohen can sing.
Yeah.
Because Rami Malek didn't sing any of the stuff or play any of the stuff. And I think, even if
they overkilled the teeth is what killed me for him. It was they overemphasized the fucking teeth.
And that's hard to do because Freddie Mercury has some fucked up.
He had some super fucked up teeth. Like to me, the only thing because I people raved about it, and I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it.
It's a good movie. It's not a great one.
I didn't like
Rocket Man leaps and bounds better.
I saw him
Bohemian Rhapsody,
but like the shot for shot almost of Live Aid was fantastic.
Yeah,
but the rest of the movie I just thought was, it's all right.
Well,
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, it's like I enjoy the
obviously
movie.
As an actor and a director, I really appreciate the time and effort that goes into putting these movies together.
I enjoy the movie. It's not great. If you want to see a biopic about a musician, watch Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton, however you say his name, it does a better acting job as Elton John.
Yeah.
And it's a better movie in general.
Yeah. Is it as good as him in The Kingsman?
Oh, acting, he's way better. But The Kingsman, I love.
That's a great movie.
Kingsman was great. Golden Circle, the follow-up.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the best uses of the song "Take Me Home, Country Road."
That's what I was about to say. Like the rest of the movie is okay. The use of "Take Me Home, Country Roads" is one of the best uses of any song in any soundtrack I've ever fucking seen.
It is good.
It was phenomenal. And but also that's how I was also in the first one with using Freebird. It is the best use of Freebird I've ever seen. That church fight scene.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. In the first one.
It's so good.
Yeah, I forgot about
murdering so many people in the church to Freebird. It was so fucking great.
Good Lord. It was very it's very good.
The only other thing for Freebird I've seen that was used very, very well was when Elizabethtown. The scene with the Freebird.
I don't remember. I've seen the movie. I don't remember. They used
almost the entire song for one scene. It was fucking fantastic.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. So
do you have more on that?
No, it's different, completely different subject now that I thought we could touch on, but we can end if you want to end.
I'm just tired. I got to work tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to work tomorrow.
I can hold this,
but you're coasting, Mr. McSalaried.
You know, coasting. Yeah. I mean, I am a little bit.
Like I've been reading. I checked our work.
Look, you called out sick today. I don't want to hear about coasting.
Yeah, I did call sick today, but I was moderately sick for most of the day.
Okay.
Oh, by sick I mean shitting my fucking asshole off.
Sure.
So there's that.
I mean, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll hold this. I'll hold this one till next time.
But I've been reading like our work app, like where everybody chats and talks throughout the day.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm walking into a fucking shitstorm tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about it.
Well.
Oh fuck. I completely forgot to talk about this one other thing. But
okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, it's fine. We're at 2 hours. It's not important. I'll bring it up next time.
You won't.
I will.
Tell me what it's about so I can write it down.
Summer Fridays.
Summer Fridays. We have something similar at work.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a work thing.
Yeah. Summer Fridays.
Summer Fridays.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm done, dude. I'm done. Are you done? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Again, I just want to reiterate. Again, there will be no. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know this already. But there will, if you're listening, there will be no live. Has been no live show. If you're listening to this, there has been no live show this past Saturday. But there will also be no live show this coming Saturday. If you're listening to this audio version, but if you're watching the video, there's not going to be a live show on Saturday the 12th. I guess is the date.
What?
Yeah, we won't. I'll be coming back from vacation. We may go live on that Sunday. I don't know.
No, we're going.
But we won't miss.
Whenever we record, we should just go live.
Probably, yeah. But Monday will not be missed as far as the audio goes. That's the thing.
We are coming up on 100.
We are.
Episodes.
This is 97. Yeah,
I
was
crazy.
really hoping that the 3 continent one was going to fall on 100, and it didn't.
That would have been amazing.
It didn't. I think it's falling on 99. I think
we should do we should do 2 episodes that week just to make it our 100th.
Let's see here. This is
or 97. Do an extra long one next week.
99.
No, not acceptable. So what we do is we do an extra long episode next week, and we set up and we release it in 2 parts.
Sure.
So 98 and 99.
But that just means there's going to be a week of not recording, and 99 is still. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you're talking about like a physical, like an actual week in 99.
Yes.
I'm talking about releasing episodes. We still have part 1 is episode 98. Part 2 is episode 99.
So you're saying release the 3 continent episode a week after we do it?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Oh no! Now that I think about it,
you see what I'm saying? It's still week 99.
Yeah. We just released 2 episodes the week prior to make it an even 100.
Or we do the 3 continent episode long and release it in 2 parts. So second part is episode 100.
I don't like that either.
I know. I don't either.
God damn it.
Yeah. There's no way to cut it, man. The only way we do it is push it back another week, and I don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So just to what we're talking about is on June 20th, it's Father's Day. So that morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to be live streaming with 3 other guys from 3 other countries, 2 other continents. So it'll be us here in Knoxville.
3 continents.
I got it right.
You said 2 continents.
Nope. It's 2 other continents.
Oh, 2 other. I missed the other.
So we're in Knoxville, Tennessee, North America. We have a guy in Scotland and a guy in London for Europe, and then a guy in Australia for the continent of Australia.
Yep.
So 5 guys, 4 countries, 3 continents. And we will be streaming live. It's easy.
And we're hosting this shit, right?
We are. It'll be on our stream.
Okay.
So Andre and Easy, who we had before from the Juxtaposition Debate. And then we have Josh Dunn. And I think his podcast is called What Are We Doing Here? I'm not 100%
I ask
sure.
that every night that I do this podcast with you.
But we will all be on here live streaming. We'll take questions. We'll talk about whatever subject you want to throw. Maybe we'll take questions, but we may not take questions on the phone, but we'll have comments and we'll have that. So please.
And between me and an Aussie, we will be saying cunt a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But please tune in. I mean, I know that's early because if it's 7 Eastern, it's 6 Central. And so, tune in if you can.
Help us make this special.
Yeah, help us make it special.
Please.
These guys are up late. Let's see, 7 a.m. here is 2 p.m. in London, but it's like 9 or 10 p.m. in Australia.
Yeah, I don't care.
So, no, I understand that, but I'm just saying. So let's try to.
And
come out
I think we are planning on having some mimosas, at least to start. I'm moving to whiskey, but I'm starting.
Sure,
with
that depends on
mimosas.
how long we go to what I move to.
Yeah. But
it's Father's Day, so fucking.
So get your mimosas ready because it's gonna be a fun morning.
Yeah. So that's again Father's Day, June 20th. Again, no live stream next weekend because I'll be coming back from vacation. Not on Saturday anyway. Not at the regular time, but you won't miss a Monday if you download the audio. And we have some other guests coming up, some other collaborations possibly. This is why we don't record during the week. Other collaborations possibly in the works. So
nobody cares.
We'll see. People care.
Nobody cares.
You don't.
I don't.
That doesn't mean that no one else does.
Okay.
All right. Until next time.
Yep.
Goodbye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.